Hey, what's up, guys? Hartman here. So we're gonna do some of the final drafts of the year tonight. I think we're gonna start out with a. So I think we're gonna start out with a. I'm gonna enter a sprint and a marathon, and whichever one fills first, we'll do that. And then afterwards, we'll do whatever wins the vote in the poll. Um, I think that'll be good. So let me catch up with you guys real quick, then I'll enter them. I'll count down though. Sup fam, sup who aims, thanks for stopping by, bro. Uh Clayton first. Hey, thanks for stopping by, bro. I appreciate it. So I'm gonna enter the sprint and the marathon both in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the sprint is +1, the marathon is +6. So we'll probably end up doing a sprint. And I might just actually I'll just do both. I don't know. I can do both, or I could do just the sprint if it fills first. Um I could also do a puppy. I mean, I've done 15 sprint today. I'm taking a break, lol. I could also do a puppy if you guys want. Um, oh, all right. So we got the sprint. I'm gonna leave the marathon then. I'll do the sprint first. I'm gonna do a couple drafts though tonight. So, I think we'll probably end up doing like a puppy or something. I think I want to try to do 3 drafts tonight. That's kind of my goal. Um, so that's kind of the goal tonight. I want to get 3 drafts in. It's the end, so just trying to get in a little bit more volume. The promos for sprint as well. Rare, I didn't know that. I saw it on your stream. Yeah, I saw they were talking about it. Um, oh, and Who Ames obviously. If I mean, I'm sure all you guys know, but Who Ames streams all the time during the week, every day at 2 p.m. my time. Did someone say need one to fill? Yeah, I saw. Legio at a 6. Steve-O speak at 7. Um, and then me at 12. I don't think I know any of the other ones. Some of the names I noticed, but like same thing. I know them from drafts. I don't like recognize them from here or whatever. Um, but yeah, Steve right next to Paul. So I'm sure that'll be a fun time for them. Luckily, I'm over here in the corner, so hopefully these people next to me aren't too sharp. I can get some good values pushed to me. Um, but yeah, so in the sprint, pretty much just playing it like BBM. I mean, I've done a decent amount of these on stream. I've done like, maybe 4 or 5. But I'm just kind of looking at the schedule overall. Like I'm weighing that a little bit, just in the sense of like I think Nico is one of the better clicks in this format. Because he gets all 3 dome games, Arizona, LV, and then at the Chargers, but all 3 dome games. Arizona and LV aren't like great defenses. LV's probably been like, bad defense. The Chargers are a pretty good defense, but you're getting a dome game at least. So good environment. Same thing with the Lions. You're getting good environments for them as well. They do have a little bit tougher matchups though. Rams, Pittsburgh, Minnesota. So they're pretty tough matchups, but they are at least good environment. Um, I think the Falcons probably have the best. Them or the Texans. So the Falcons are at Tampa Bay, at Arizona, so that's a dome, and then home against the Rams. Um, yeah, so the Falcons have a really good one. The Rams is okay, but yeah, the Texans and the Lions are 2 that I probably like the most. Um, so I think here we're definitely going to take the faller on Puka. I'm always grabbing Puka if he's there at the turn. I don't really think he this whole range of receivers. I get why he kind of falls to the back of some of the concerns around the offense, but I don't know. I don't totally see the case. I think we'll just grab Drake London. Uh, yeah, I think we'll just grab Drake London, get the week 17. That's just kind of the easy stack there. But yeah, what I was saying, I just don't really understand Puka, I guess, like kind of always being the last one to go or even falling in the second sometimes. Um, I feel like he's almost like one of the more I don't know, like I feel like Puka has a better chance to really put up like an amazing season. Like I don't know, than like a Monra or something. Or I don't know, it's just surprising he's the guy that kind of falls, especially now like Stafford's playing week 1. I guess there's kind of longer term concerns with an older quarterback like that, but I don't know. I've just been always picking Puka when he falls to the turn or anywhere in the second, obviously. Um, yeah, but everything in this draft looks pretty normal. You know, A Chain at 11. That's only a couple picks, so that's not too weird. But yeah, everything else looks pretty normal. Running backs getting pulled up a little bit in general. You know, Johnny Taylor, Bucky Irving, A Chain in the first, right? So getting pulled up a little overall. Chase Brown, I guess, goes kind of where he usually goes though. Um, uh, uh, Notifications fail again. Oh no, Dirty P, I scammed you. Yeah, I made the video at like 8:27, but it'll only notify you if it's a half hour before, so I made it for 9, and then after I changed it to 8:45. You got scammed, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do like 3 drafts though, so I mean, you know, if you're sticking around, hopefully you can get in 1 or 2. Uh Brett messaged me and let me know the notification pop-up has a never show this message box now. I think that's what was screwing with people's accounts. Huh. Huh, that's pretty cool. Okay. I'll have to I wonder, well, if I leave the draft and go back in, will it ask me? Hmm. I don't know. Maybe on the next one, I don't really want to try to enter from my computer because I don't want to like. We'll see what kind of draft we're doing. If we're doing like a marathon or something, maybe I'll try entering on my computer because those kind of feel slow. But if we're doing like a puppy or something, I'll just enter on my phone or like at a certain time so that everyone kind of has a chance to get in. Um, yeah, but that's something I'll have to look at next time the little thing pops up for sure. Um, Not sure if it was, but I didn't have the issues till then. Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I'll check that out definitely. Like if that like never come back up thing, if that fixes it, maybe. Um, Puka will crush. Yeah, I really just think with him, it's just the health. You know, his health and Stafford's. I'm not like as worried about the Stafford stuff. Obviously, he's older, so he might be a little bit more fragile with like Stafford, but it's just like Puka's had a lot of injuries in his career. You know, but I just don't think you can really consider that stuff sticky, especially when you're kind of playing a game like this. Like, you know, if it's like in the case of always pulling up Puka or something, having like 30% or something, then sure. That's a really nice fall on Tyreek there. Um, and I'm pretty good with Miami schedule too. They have at Pitt the first game, but the next 2 are really good. Um, we could get MHJ for the I kind of like Kittle here. I think we go Kittle. I could have went MHJ. He has the week 16 with Drake London, but I haven't got as much Kittle lately, and I don't know. I'd kind of like to get him on a build. You know, and that's kind of a thing too. Like elite tight end, I guess they so, at least as far as, like, I kind of understand it, elite tight end in general, unless they're, like if you get a legendary season from one of these guys, then this doesn't hold true, but in general, paying up at tight end, like, hurts your first round advance rate. So, like, it could, in theory, be something of, like, since there's gonna be overlay, your first round advance rate's gonna be a lot better. So, maybe picking, like, an elite tight end or an elite QB to try to separate in those playoff pod weeks could be like or during that sprint portion could actually be even better like when you consider the overlay. I don't know if that's exactly the right way to look at it, but I think that would be kind of the right thing. Like maybe elite QB is actually even a little bit better with some overlay and like elite tight end as well because they separate in that like short span in like a sprint they can separate, right? Because they can put together like multiple elite weeks that just other players can't match. But over the season The QBs maybe separate more, but the tight ends, at least the last couple of years, haven't really. Like, I don't really see Kittle being a giant separator from the field and giving you like a huge great advance rate at the 4-1. Unless he just gets insane amount of touchdowns, like, you know, mid-teens or something like that, then he'll separate. But unless he gets an outcome like that, I think with his price, like Kittle's not really going to separate. He might give you a little bit lower first round advance rate, but he could be the hammer in those sprint weeks that you need. Um, I don't know. That's just something I was kind of thinking about with the overlay. I've been kind of trying to think about like with all these different contest overlaying, and obviously there's just not enough time to get in the amount of entries like I would if I had, all the time for it. Um, I've just been kind of trying to figure out like different ways to play it. Like how is it an advantage that there's overlay other than it's just like less entrance? How can you play that to your advantage? Like use that kind of new factor of the contest. Um, I don't know if in I don't know, like, it's a pretty minor thing, like, just saying, like, the elite tight end or elite QB might be a little bit better, but it's just something I was kinda thinking about with this contest, like, I was just trying to, I don't know, think about different ways, like, even if it's a small improvement or something, or maybe, like, a small way that gives you I don't know, like, if it could be a little bit of an advantage or, like, a good strategy or something, I don't know, I just try to think through all those things as much as I can. This guy must be autoing. They had 4 straight running backs. I mean, they got Terry, but, A-Chain, Henry, Kyron, Harvey. So here, I think we're gonna go Ricky. Yeah, we're definitely gonna grab Ricky with the Kittle. So the real debate is if I want, like, James Conner or if I want, like, Rome, because I could get another week 17, and I do have double SF, but I think I'm actually gonna go Connor because I think I'm just so strong at receiver, and the running backs that come back, especially in the sprint, I feel like some of them are maybe a little moved up, maybe not, but I feel like the running backs that come back on the 7-8 turn, it can be kind of a risk to push it to there to get your first RB. You can be left like pretty thin, and they could leave me a lot of good receivers. And if I went with my fifth receiver right there and no running backs, I'd be kind of forced into taking at least one running back here. Or like not going receiver, right? So I might lose out on a falling value if I pass on like Connor there to go for a receiver I like. Um I think I think it's when you log into your account. Oh, okay. Alright, yeah, I'll check that next time I, like, go in. I mean, cause I can just do the thing where, like, I enter the same time as like, the clock or whatever, cause that works, easy, and I can just enter on my phone for, like, tonight. But I will check that though, like, next time I log in. I'm just worried Devontae will retire before going after more Jimmy G hospital balls. Yeah, I mean, it could be a legitimate concern. I don't think he'd retire. He'd probably force a trade to the Steelers. That's probably what he'd do instead. He'd have a mystery hamstring injury. So you'd lose him for like 2, 3 weeks, and then he'd go to the Steelers. Uh, but yeah, no, it is a little concerning with the injuries and stuff, right? I mean, obviously Stafford missed a lot of camp. Um, I do think like the actual missed camp itself is no concern at all. I mean, Stafford's like, I mean, I don't even know how long he's been playing football. Like, well, like 18 years in the NFL now. I think Stafford's like, no, like 16 years. I don't know, like 16 years or something in the NFL now for him. So it's like missing camp doesn't really matter. The injury's a little scary. I will say Stafford though, like, I'm a huge Lions fan. Like he always played through everything in Detroit. I mean, as much as he could. Um, so I think it's gonna be kind of similar on the Rams. I don't think he's gonna sit with like a minor injury. I think it would have to be something major. But at his age, that has more of a risk. Damn, the running backs. See what I was saying? If I wouldn't have grabbed Connor there, like Tyrone Tracy at 75, Jalen Warren at 76, Jordan Mason 77, Aaron Jones 73. Yeah, so really good thing I grabbed Connor there. That could have been probably really bad. Yeah, pretty much the only running back left is like, he's kind of like the faller of, right now is Caleb Johnson. He's kind of like the biggest faller running back in this range right now. Just all his camp reports don't sound great. Um, Man, the running backs are terrible. I might pull up like Dobbins and Krosky Merritt even. That might sound kind of crazy to like do, but we'll definitely let it get Dobbins because I'm pretty happy with Dobbins. I actually like him quite a bit this year. I could just go Keon. I have two running backs. Let's just go Keon Coleman. I feel like pulling up Krosky Merritt and Dobbins both on that turn is just like I don't know. That's just kind of losing a lot of value. Like on both picks in one turn. I don't love that to like force it. I'll just grab Keon there. Now I feel really comfortable with my receiver room. And I feel decent with my RBs that at least I have solid touches week one. I'll try to build it out more. So I'll have more like a 6 RB room probably on this build. But we'll have to see where I go with like QB, stuff like that. Hopefully I get Purdy. I don't think I actually will. I I probably should have pulled him up there. That is like it's like 16 picks ahead of ADP, but I think his ADP is like 105, and this guy is Jawan here. So I'm wondering if he's gonna take Purdy. He has Jaden Daniels. Um, but we'll see. I'm really hoping I get Purdy back though, because I do have the SF double. Not getting Purdy back would hurt pretty bad. I can still do Miami, Rams, Falcons. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it though. So if I don't get Purdy back, that would hurt. But I can still build out some stacks. Maybe try to get some rushing upside with like a Danny Dimes at the end, something like that, or just build out smaller stacks. Hopefully, I have like enough enough floor at my QB room if I don't get him back. But we'll just kind of see what comes back. It's still pretty early on. Um. Oh yeah, retiring. It's why I'm smashing Addison Rice in the sprint. Um. Yeah, I mean, I think like I don't know exactly what the it's why, but I agree. Like smashing Addison and Rice in the sprint because they're getting pushed down. All that matters that with the overlay, right? Exactly, because you don't have to worry as much with the first round advancement. Sorry. But yeah, you don't have to worry as much with the first round advancement. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Yeah, really good point. Those would definitely be heavier targets in this format with that. Yeah. Um, Kittle actually separated in points per game last year, 3 more than number 2. Um, really? Damn. I didn't know he separated that much. Holy shit. 3 more than number 2. Wow. Well, yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Same difference from Chase to JJ. Damn. I just wouldn't have thought that, I guess. I guess I thought like Bowers was a lot closer. So we'll see if I get Bill here. Oh, there we go. If you love it, let it go. Um, Damn. I was hoping Loveland went right before me. That would have been nice to get. I would have done the Caleb double stack. Or not double, but I would have done the quick like double tap. So we got Bill Merritt. I'm thinking just Drake May. That's kind of like the go-to move when you don't really have a stack and you just need the best QB on the board. So we'll just go with the time-tested strategy of taking Drake May. Stacked or unstacked, it's the picks are in the triple digits. It's Drake May time. It can never be a bad pick to pick Drake May. I got so many options late, and even if I don't get a single one, he's still Drake May. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Um, yeah, that's crazy. I would not have thought it was that much. I guess I that's actually really surprising. Um, I thought it was Neil on the thumbnail for a sec. Oh yeah, yeah. The AI changed the shape of the face. I had to make myself like the Jared Goff, with the chains. Going from Sean McVay to Aaron Rodgers grinding the clock to one every play doesn't feel great. Um, yeah, but I mean Rodgers like hyper targets Devontae. It worked out pretty good on the Jets, right? I mean, Devontae had a pretty good year actually. It's not like he had the best year ever, but just the Jets part of his season, he was getting targeted enough. He wasn't bad. Stafford will play so he doesn't have to be at home. Exactly. He would do anything not be around his wife. Exactly. Uh hey, what's up, Omega? Thanks for stopping by, bro. What's up? Hold on, W. I'm personally scooping Caleb right now. Um I I would where did he go in this draft? He went at 89. I don't know, like I would consider him. I picked him a couple times on this turn. Um I just really was never in, and then it's like now he's a faller too. I am underweight, but overall I'm at like 6%. I looked at it yesterday, but I'm at like 6% on him. I feel pretty comfortable being at 6%. I don't know. I guess maybe Dobbins over him is a little bit much, but I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in Caleb Johnson. I never really did. I didn't pick a ton of him pre-draft. I was like I had a ton of like almost all the rookie RBs, and he was one of the lower ones, especially in the higher tier. And then post draft too, same thing. He's just one of my lower owned ones. I don't know. He just wasn't really a guy I ever got too into. I did think when he got drafted to the Steelers, it was a really good fit. And then the early camp report sounded really good, but then he was kind of getting steam and going like higher than I wanted to pick him. And then now it's just like it just doesn't sound like the news is good. And I've been like a gigantic Jalen Warren bull. I mean, that's the other thing. Like I have 18.5% Jalen Warren. So it's like, I got a bag of him too. So yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with Caleb like 89's fair. I would consider him there. Just kind of depending on like the other guys available, but I would consider him there for sure. Like most of the time I would pick him over Dobbins, to be honest. I don't know. I just kind of want some Dobbins. Um, I don't pick Dobbins much anymore. And there's not really a good reason. I guess just kind of his range. I don't really pick running backs. Um, it's usually more like QBs, tight ends, I guess. Um, I also pick like a shitload of Cam Scottaboo, and they go right by each other. Like especially lately, like I think I'm like 13-14% Scattaboo, but lately I pick them like a ton. I think we don't have to get Mondre. Michael Penix is coming up, so we'll just grab him here. So we'll secure that one. Um, I think for the other pick, oh, we can pull up Ollie. I don't have nearly enough Ollie. I wasn't clicking him early. I was a Jalen Wright guy. That call was wrong. That goes with my Tyreek. But yeah, that was just a call that was it didn't work out like in the sense that Jalen Wright didn't look very good and then he also got injured. So it was kind of like a double whammy. It's not like Jalen Wright was killing it and then he got injured or he just didn't look good, but we still don't really know who the clear backup is. It's like, well, he didn't look good, and then he gets hurt. So Ali has all the runway in the world, right? Um, that was kind of a miss by me this year, I would say. Maybe I should have started buying in a little bit earlier. Um, I don't know. I think I just didn't believe too much. Like there got to a point where I didn't really believe too much in either of them until kind of A Chain's injury like happened, and then I kind of realized I started have like I have to take more of one, and if I'm not going to take really much of Jalen Wright anymore, then I need to start taking more Ollie Gordon. Um, so that was a little bit of a miss by me. I mean, we'll see how much of a miss he's still at best the RB2 on Miami. So we'll see how much of a miss that is exactly because it's not like that's a role either where he's going to take over as RB1 or some shit, right? He's not taking over A Chain's role. Like it's not like a soft RB1. It's an RB1 who's maybe more like like fragile in the sense that he's small and could get injured. But the thing with Ollie is like I feel bad that I don't have more, but it, his upside is kind of limited by A Chain if A Chain's healthy, obviously. Um, can do a Chicago 2 for next spin around. Can do a Chicago 2 for next spin around. Oh, were you talking about Loveland and Caleb? I would have done that for sure. Or is this a sprint? This is a sprint, yeah. I'm out of BBMs. I maxed it last night. So I finished that one yesterday. And so now I'm just, chasing a little bit of the overlay, stuff like that. Uh I think I have the poll up in the chat though for whatever you guys want to draft. So after I just picked this one because it was like right when the stream started. But whatever you guys vote for, that's what we'll do next. I actually lied. He was 1.3, Chase was 3. Okay, I got you. He was 1.3, Chase was 3. Okay. I mean, that's still actually a decent gap though. I mean, 1.3 is pretty significant, especially at tight end with the lower ceiling overall. Like, because if you factor in the overall scoring of the position, like I bet 1.3 at tight end is probably like equivalent to like when you factor in like how much their total points are, it's probably the equivalent to like almost 2 or like high 1 point something. So I don't know, but yeah, that is still actually quite a bit. I didn't realize he really separated that much. I mean, obviously Bowers and McBride both did really bad on touchdowns, so that does kind of make sense. But yeah, no, it's a little bit more than I thought actually in the points per game. And obviously Kittle did miss a few, so it's like that bumps up his points per game, which is the point of points per game. I'm just saying like then the good touchdown variance helps him a little bit more, I think. But and obviously his situation. Oh, damn it! I was gonna pick Hunter Henry, but he's the same buy as Kittle. I could just pick him anyway. It's not like too big of a deal. Um, I think we'll just lock up Stafford. It's like way ahead of ADP, and no one will probably take him, but someone has Devonte Adams. Stafford's kind of my only stacking option left on this team. So, Tua was already gone right before my pick. I would have preferred Tua because I have Tyreek and Ollie. It's not like I have a ton of stuff built out with that game, but I just would have preferred that because I already have something built out with the Rams Atlanta game. So, having both QBs isn't great, but if I could have got Tua, that would have been better. But it's fine not getting them. Would have kind of liked Hunter Henry, but like I said, with the bye week, so we'll just kind of see what tight end falls to us. I'll go back to the board now. All right. I had like 6% and 10% Jalen. I'm happy if I finish like 7-9. Oh, with Caleb and Jalen 7-9. Um, sorry. Yeah, no, I don't think that's a bad way to play it either. You just think that the Steelers backfield will make a winner, so just kind of even bet on both. Yeah, I like that play too. I don't know, for some reason I was just lower on Caleb like kind of the whole way through. And yeah, and then I don't know, I was just kind of lower on him the whole way through. And like I don't really regret it now. Like it'd be nice to have a little more, I guess, just because he's a rookie mystery box, right? He could be great. Um, so it would be nice to have a little more, but at the same time, I'm pretty comfortable with like 6% and then being even a little bit lower than that, BBM like 4%. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Uh, the field love pulling up Dak too. I finished pretty underweight Dak, but not by design. He just didn't come back to 110 as much as I needed him to. Yeah, no, that's true. Like there were a lot of times I remember earlier on, I was thinking about like when you have that pick, or let me take it down for a second so I can show it. It was like when you had that pick, like basically where Dak went, but that's like his ADP now. If you had like the double or like the Lamb guy was on the inside, like for this guy, it was like, oh, do I take Dak at 101 or do I push him to like 116? And then most of the time you get him back, but sometimes he got sniped. But now it's like, yeah, no shot you get him back at 116. Someone will just take him unstacked, like guaranteed. Like Dak goes in the ninth round. Every once in a while you might push him, but it's just like once you're that late in the draft, it's probably not worth it. Like, why would you push him to the 10th round? Maybe if you have a giant falling value that you really want to catch, like maybe if like Hawkinson I saw fell to 93 in this one, maybe if he falls even further and you're like, oh, Dak or Hawkinson, right? Maybe that's like a decision, but yeah, you just can't push him anymore at all because ADP is like all the way up there. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I'm getting him in the 90s with Dak. Um, yeah, I'll only do that if I have to box out like either I guess usually if you're boxing him out, you're usually the Pickens drafter because Lamb went before you. At least if you're me, I guess, because like I would just have the double. Like Pickens wouldn't be on the inside if I had Lamb because I would have the double in the fourth round. So it's like it wouldn't happen like that. But um but yeah, like I've taken him in the 90s for sure too. When the other guy has Pickens or Lamb like on the inside. So it's like you got to take him at like 94 or 93, something like that. I've definitely done that too for like the stack. All right, so we're on the clock here. Uh Mason Taylor, definitely want him. That's a bring back on my New England. And I'm just kind of high on him in general. I have quite a bit, 16.5%. And then we could go like Woody Marks. I'm thinking. Um, I don't really know who to go here. I like some of my later running back clicks that I go with a lot, like Keaton, Taj Brooks. Woody Marks, I don't have much of. He's kind of the only young guy with juice in that backfield. So I don't know. We'll get a little bit of him, get a little bit of exposure to him. He's a rookie. I think like he's kind of expected to have a more limited skill set, but you just never know with a rookie mystery box. This is supposed to be a great running back class. Maybe he fell a little because of that. And obviously that's all kind of a long shot, but he is in the position where the starter is going to miss at least 4 weeks, maybe more. So I mean, that's a better opportunity than most rookies are ever going to get. He's competing with Nick Chubb, but who's older, had he actually had another injury at the end of last year, but he's 2 years removed from ACL. We did have another injury at the end of last year. I think he might have like broke his foot or something for Nick Chubb, that is, at the end of last year. It was something like that. He didn't like tear anything, but yeah, but I don't know, with Woody Marks, it's not a guy I'm super high on like as a player or anything, but I think just the position he's in, the Texans could be a really good offense, and that lead back role could be open for the taking. Maybe he has a hot hand for a few weeks and he's able to, really claim a real role in that offense. Um, my man love for Ollie. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Omega. Yeah, Ollie's a guy, yeah, I definitely wish I had more of. I got bags of Jalen Wright though. So at least there's that. Schuster and I did a 4 QB build today in your honor. There you go. I was watching you and Schuster earlier. Uh but yeah, 4 QB build in my honor. Just like my 150th BBM, the 4 QB build. Exactly as I planned it. Um 13.47 and 15. Bowers 12.15. McBride 11.76. Taysom 11.75. Huh. Yeah. So Bowers didn't really separate from McBride either. Yeah. No, I mean it's pretty interesting. So how many touchdowns did Kittle score? Like, is it like 10? 8? He only scored 8. Man. So he had 78 catches for 1,100 yards, 197, but that's only in 15 games. And then how many touchdowns did Bowers have? 5. Yeah, I mean, I guess like Bowers barely even had more yards than him, and we played 2 more games. 3 less touchdowns in 2 more games. A shitload more catches, but that only counts for so much. And then McBride, kind of same thing, and then just even less touchdowns, but a shitload more catches and targets. Yeah, I guess maybe that's just why those guys feel like maybe they have higher potential is like it feels like you need the volume to really have that like that Gronk or Kelsey season. It feels like Kittle would have a really hard time getting there unless he got really lucky with touchdowns, even though he did like gap him like that. It just feels like it's hard to see another level for Kittle's game where like those guys get so much volume. It seems so easy to see them making the leap where they could be like just like a huge leap above where they were even like last year. Um, so I think here we definitely want a receiver. Um, could take a running back. I guess we probably will take a running back. Uh, Ray McCloudy stacks. That's absolutely perfect. Um, yeah, absolutely perfect pick right there. That's good for my receiver room. I actually have a lot of capital there. So we'll just grab whoever my favorite running back is. Blake Corum also goes with that big game stack I built on Rams in Atlanta. I have the Rams QB, so just more team correlation. I have Puka. We'll get Blake Corum here, just kind of to correlate with my Ram stuff. So feel pretty good with that. So um I was as well. The Judkins thing made me start taking some Caleb because of options and the good options moved up. No, I totally agree with that. There were a lot more like good options around him early. And I will say, like, I got to the point I was kind of just clicking Warren over Caleb Johnson, but then like a bunch of people were clicking Warren over Caleb Johnson. And and then it's like, yeah, I don't know. Then it's kind of like he's in like a next tier when he starts falling that much. So like, I don't wanna, like, pull him up and, like, keep his ADP high, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's not like I care about the ADP, like, I wanna get good value is what I'm saying. So I don't wanna, like, pick him when he's, like, barely falling and, like, not get much value. Just with, like, my pick spot, that's kinda how it lands, right? Like, he's kinda more in the front half. You hope he falls to you in that, like, almost pick 100 range, right? Kinda like in the 90s or something. Um But yeah. But and just in general, like, if you need a running back, like, I pulled up Dobbins, normally I wouldn't do that. I just didn't really wanna pick another share of Caleb Johnson. I picked one yesterday on the stream, and it's like, even if no one's watching from yesterday, I know that I picked one yesterday, so I don't want 2 in a row. That's too much. Uh, so alright, I'll go over the teams. I don't think Steve was in here. He's probably just drafting. I don't think Fanspeak's live right now, right? But, I don't think they are. But anyway, so I built, and I'll look at, Paul's team. Um, I built a 3-6-7-2. Drake May, Michael Penix, Matt Stafford. Did game stack the week 17 game, but it is the sprint, so I don't actually think that's too bad. I like both offenses. I like all 3 offenses, but I'm more like Drake May than New England offense, but I like the other 2 offenses. Really happy with that QB room. James Conner, J.K. Dobbins, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, Ollie Gordon, Woody Marks, Blake Corum. It's a little bit riskier running back room, obviously, right? Like, I think James Conner will carry it as long as he's healthy. But Dobbins should get some touches and give me at least some floor. But then I would say my next 4 guys are kind of big swings, but they could be big misses. Corum's kind of more just contingent guy, but the JCM, Ollie Gordon, Woody Marks, they're kind of big swings, but they could be big misses as well. So interesting running back room. I'm pretty happy with it, like how it came out, but I do think it could be like real boomer bust. Um, and then receiver, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Tyreek Hill, Ricky Pearsall, Keon Coleman, Demario Douglas, or Aaron McLeod. Really happy with this receiver room. Just kind of like starting with a 3 in a row, getting a little bit of value on Tyreek. I love Ricky there. I'm like pretty high on Keon. And then Demario for the stack, Rare for the stack late. I think he's just a decent value. And then George Kittle, Mason Taylor. I think that's fine at tight end. So pretty happy with how this team came out. I would say I could do a little bit more to game stack it. Like I got a little bit of Atlanta week 16. But I only have Atlanta and Rams week 17. I have that built out really well. But the only week 15 I have is Buffalo, New England. So like I could do better with stacking it, stuff like that. Like I get some that are correlated a lot better. But I'm pretty happy with this overall. I just think the RB room carries some risk, but I think overall it's a solid build. Pretty happy with it. and then we'll check Paul's team, and then I'll check the poll, and then we'll get into another draft. So Paul won with 2592, Lee Geo, 2592, Jalen Hurts, JJ McCarthy. Like that QB room, obviously. You know, with Jalen Hurts, anyone in this range, in that JJ McCarthy range, obviously are good stopping at 2. Omarion, Brees Hall, Tony Pollard, Ray Davis, Chris Rodriguez. Love that top 3. And then, you know, Ray Davis, Chris Rodriguez, kind of upside play with Rodriguez, and then contingent / upside play with Ray Davis. Really like that running back room. You know, pretty good values on them too. I mean, to me, Brees Hall in the 5th round is always a value. And then, but Pollard fell a couple picks past too, which, you know, really like that. Like the running back room. Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, so double. Michael Pittman, Jaden Higgins, Chris Godwin, Hollywood Brown, Torrey Horton, Quentin Johnson, Josh Reynolds, and then Brock Bowers, Zach Ertz. So tight end room strong. You know, you have Bowers obviously. So wide receiver, I think you're okay because, like, you know, you got Jefferson up top. It's like a hero wide receiver build, right? Um, and then Addison, he'll miss the first couple weeks, but then you're kind of good. You have your Minnesota double. Pittman's consistent. You know, Higgins could be kind of a big swing. I assume you took Godwin. Kind of, you want like the late season, like kind of hammer, right? Because you might be missing that with some of those, like not as many of the mid range guys. So you take Godwin for that late season hammer. Hollywood maybe for some early production with Rice suspended. Torrey Horton just upside swing. QJ pretty much upside swing. Reynolds, you know, just kind of low owned, maybe upside swing. And, you know, he might have like a pretty good role in the offense right away. But yeah, I like the team overall. I think, like, you know, like a hero wide receiver build, it's something I've done before. It's not something I do commonly, but I actually think you built it like really well. Yeah, I think you put the capital kind of in all the right spots. Like, I don't really see anything wrong. Um, yeah, no, I like it overall. It looks really solid. Um, all right, cool. So all right, I'm gonna check the YouTube poll real quick, and then we'll draft whatever that is. My audio might get weird for a second. Sorry. Uh, all right. So it is the puppy. Um, so what we will do for that is I will enter the puppy at exactly 9:30 on the dot. I'm staring at my phone timer, so 9:30 on the dot, you know, whatever time that is for you. I'll enter right then. So if anyone wants to hop in, the puppy 4, 9:30 on the dot. And then we'll see. I must have done it right when it turned to 9:29. So now we wait. Uh wait. But this is the best way. I think especially when the puppy wins or something. Like I really wanna try to do it where I can like draft with you guys. Um you know, because like with the sprint or the marathon, they don't really fill that quick. So it's really it's really easy usually to just get in those. All right. There it goes. Plus 10 for the puppy. So if anyone wants on the puppy, it's plus 10. Here we can active. All right. There we go. Plus 2, plus 1. All right, and we're filled. All right, cool. So hopefully it's a bunch of you guys. So I see Antwall. Steve, is that I don't know at 3 if that's the like Steve WC. Who Hames at 5. Legio Paul at 8. Um, and me at 12. All right. And if I didn't call you out, let me know if you're in here. So I saw Antwall, Who Hames, and Legio Paul. I don't know if number 3 is like Steve in the chat. Like Steve WC or something. I think his name is. I started 1-3-1-1, so I just threw volume at receiver. Yeah, no, I think you did it pretty good because like I liked how you got some like solid kind of floor guys in the middle, and you just kind of hammered it in that like 80 to like 110 range, like kind of right before the big like that big like dead zone. and then you kind of went out of it for just like a little bit, but you got like Godwin and stuff, right? Just for that late season kind of hammer. So I think you built it pretty well for kind of like, I mean, I think like a hero wide receiver is what you would call that build. I think you built out of it well though for that. Let's see. Uh, oh, Seattle cuts Damian Martinez from the practice squad and then resigns him to the practice squad the next day. Sending him a message. Maybe. I mean, they do say he has attitude problems, like behind the scenes. So maybe he pissed one of the coaches off. Joe Jam number 4 here. Oh, okay, cool. Anglerwood. Okay. I'll try to remember that. Or I mean, like I'll remember it in this draft, but I'll try to remember the name. Um, all right, cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome then. So like, yeah, like half of this is like you guys who got in here. Yeah, and I think that's cool with the I don't know, like that's why the time on the clock is probably the best way to do it. Because then it's just like easy to get in. I think especially for like puppies and stuff. Um, because they fill so quick just in general. Uh it makes it just a little bit, I don't know, so a bunch of you guys can get into. Um, here obviously at 12, we're just gonna see what falls. Uh Nico at 6, that's kind of interesting. Saquon's still on the board. Uh Paul probably really hoping this guy takes Derrick Henry at 7. Huh. I mean, like I don't like it's not the worst pick. Kind of crazy to take Derrick Henry over like I mean, it's kind of weird to take Derrick Henry over Saquon. All right. I didn't know if you were going to be a CMC truther, just like keep pushing Saquon for like the bit. But yeah, there we go. So Saquon goes at 8, his rightful spot where he should go. No, that's actually a great value. I see Saquon go sometimes at like 7, but it's very rare you see him fall like 2 more spots, like to 8. I think I've seen it like I don't know, not much though. Like I think I've seen it, but not often at all. Like 7 that you see, but 8, nice value on him. So we'll just pick Puka again. I kind of want to do something different. Oh, I know what I'll do. This is something I always talk about doing and I never actually do it. So I'll actually do it. We will get the week 17 game stack. BTJ Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, because I always talk about doing this one. I think I did it like one time, but it was like a big board or something, or it was either like a big board or like early on like first puppy or something. Um, so yeah, I want to do another one of those, the BTJ Jonathan Taylor. That's kind of a fun week 17 stack. I don't think it'll be very high owned at all. So just kind of a fun stack. I mean, obviously anyone can make that stack, but you do got to pull those guys up. So should be kind of unique. They would never naturally pair. I don't think JT would ever fall far enough to go with a BTJ team where like BTJ went in the second, JT went in the third. I don't think he'd ever fall far enough in the third to really make that happen. Um, DK does it in his full PPR. I really like doing that. DK does it in his full PPR. I don't know what they do. Um, I don't know what DK does. Yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about. DK does it and it's full PPR. I really like doing that. Oh, Henry at 7. Right. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I forget. Yeah, no, that's and that is true. Like I've heard people say they think like DK drafters could be coming over to Underdog now. Chasing some of the overlay. So I mean this is a puppy, so maybe not, but they're used to Derrick Henry at 7. So they're just like Derrick Henry, why is the ADP wrong? Uh and I don't like that. I like BTJ Taylor. Uh oh, I got you. They're yeah, cause 2 separate. DK does it in his full PPR, Derrick Henry at 7. Or like doing that BTJ Taylor. Okay, yeah. All right. That all makes sense. But yeah, no, I like doing that. It's just like I think, a lower owned combo. Like even though it is a combo, I think people are making like BTJJT because it's not too crazy to pull like JT over these other running backs. I mean, JT was RB1, Jonathan Taylor, he was RB1 what like 2-3 years ago, so I don't I don't know. I don't think pulling him up over those guys is too crazy at all. I don't really think you're losing like a big projection or anything from that. I did pull him over Puka, like Puka falls to he goes with the Monra. So that guy got a nice little combo out of it, but yeah, I don't think you're losing too much by doing this combo. Um, let's see, anything else interesting here? Puka fell a little. Josh Jacobs going over Genty. That's pretty wild. Yeah, that's wild. Um, huh. Yeah, I mean, I guess those receivers fell a little bit because all the running backs went, but I guess nothing too insane. Um, yeah, the Josh Jacobs pick is pretty surprising. That and the Henry. Seeing Legio, old Legio, he's just soaking up all the value from it. He has the guys around him pushing Barkley a spot, pushing Genty a spot. It was bullshit. Um, but all right, so hey, all smash potatoes. Hey, what's up, bro? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. That was my first Barkley click outside the Elim, and I only have one BBM share of Genty. But to pair them together, couldn't pass it up. Yeah, no, that's insane. Like, I was wondering because when it went to you, I was wondering if you were gonna take like CMC or something like that, like just for the bit. But yeah, like that's a crazy combo to get Genty Barkley. I mean, well, yeah, because you need both of them to fall, right? I mean, Jacobs went over Genty, which is crazy, and then Henry even going over Genty, like that's not always a guarantee. So yeah, no, that was a crazy fall on that one. That's a super nice combo. Um, so here, I mean, I think we could go Garrett Wilson. We'll let it grab Garrett Wilson. It's a different bye week. I'm really debating if I want like Kyron or if I want James Cook or like Trevion. Um, what is this? This is the puppy. Oh, this is yeah, okay, Trevion. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right, remember the contest. All right. So yeah, I mean Trevion's just kind of like my favorite player. Like, in a puppy, that's I would say I lean a little bit towards that, or I'm just kind of willing to build a little different, like, pull some guys up, stuff like that. I think you can do that in BBM and stuff too, but I don't know. Yeah, just kind of remembering like what type of draft you're in. I think kind of like when you're switching the formats and stuff. I was trying to think what type of draft is this exactly. But like in this, I feel fine pulling like Trevion up or something. Just kind of taking the bigger swing on him. Like I'll take more risks or something with the build structure. If I see some values I like, stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, no, that was a great value. Uh, I'd be okay with Barkley Genty. Um, yeah, no, I mean that's a pretty sick combo. I was hovering over the Puka draft button. Yeah, yeah, no, that would have been yeah. Oh, over Barkley. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's just one of those things where, like, I mean, it's not like you have to take them, but like, I mean, I'm not quite as extreme as you, and I thought I was a fader. I have 2.7% Barkley. So I'm a fraud comparatively, but it's just like when you get that kind of value, like I don't know, especially on a first round pick, you're getting so much value there, especially compared to like that guy was going at, I guess not in this, it's the puppy four, but like just getting those couple picks of value in the first round is like that's worth so much comparatively to like like even a couple rounds later, like a guy falling like 8 or 9 picks isn't even as valuable as Saquon falling like 3 in the first round. Um, so I think it's just one of those things like even if it's a guy you're fading, it's so hard to pass it up when it's a first round faller. even if it's just a couple picks, if they're not like normally falling to that range, especially. I mean, we've all done good quantity. I don't think you hardly ever see Saquon at 8. Uh, but yeah, it's always tempting to get your guy like the Puka or something. Um, all right, so nothing. Oh, and yeah, that's right. We'll look at some of the other teams that are in here too. Actually, now I'm thinking about it. Uh, yeah, I liked your start. You got the Jaden Terry stack. That's nice. So yeah, that's a great start. Saquon Genti, Jaden Terry, like, perfect. I'll go over here. Antwall, CD Lamb, Lad McConkey, T Higgins, Devontae Adams, Brees Hall. Damn, yeah, no, that's. I mean, like this is going to be my favorite start, I'm sure. CD Lamb, Lad McConkey had a value. T Higgins a little bit of a value. Devontae, huge value. Brees Hall, huge value. The best value on the board, some are saying. Mainly this guy. But like, yeah, no, I love that start, Antwall. Like, love that start. Like, love that. That's great. Probably every pick exactly the same pick I would have made, to be honest with you. Um, all right. So Travis Hunter is the obvious pick here to double stack it. I went for the game stack. I pulled someone up to do it. So great that Hunter fell here to the turn. Get my double. Could go Rice. I have said that he's an auto click right here. I also like Rome a lot. Um, I like Rome a lot. We'll put Rice. I think we'll go Rice. We'll go Rice. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go Rice. My running backs are really strong. So I can pack on a little volume and maybe even get up to 6 receivers by the time we get to like round 10. If I can get to 6 receivers by then I think I'll be fine to support the Rashi Rice suspension weeks. I just need to make sure not to take any week 8 by receivers because they'll interfere with my Jacksonville. So that's the only thing I got to keep an eye on. Um, but yeah, I mean just Rice. Rice in the 6th round is slam dunk every time. If Ricky would have been there, would have considered that for sure. But Rice in that round, slam dunk. But okay, yeah, Antwall crushed. Englerwood. Who was that? Oh, that was Joe Jam, right. Englerwood, Justin Jefferson, Bucky Irving, Tyreek Hill, George Pickens, Amika Ibuka. So you're building out a huge like Bucks Miami thing like that a lot. And you pull up Buka a little, but you're doing it like you're building out this huge game stack. So I like that right there. Um, and then we'll look at who hams real quick. I'll see who you picked thereafter. Gibbs, A Chain, Evans, Kittle, Ridley, Romo Dunze. Good value on Kittle for sure. Good value on Rome. Um, maybe that's not. No, that's a good value on Rome because Rome. I guess Rome fell a little bit. That's still a decent value. Great value on Kittle at 44. Gibbs, A Chain, love that start. Evans, Ridley, Rome at your receivers. I think that's pretty good. You obviously got Rome as the bring back on the Kittle. You have an elite tight end, so I think that's a nice start. Paul Legio's looking good. Got his boy DJ Moore, Matt Golden in the next round, like that. You started double RB and a QB, and I like the 3 straight receivers you went. I think Golden's like kind of underpriced right now. DJ Moore, you kind of said you view as like the clear alpha in that offense. So I think, especially with him falling, I think at the 5'8, DJ Moore is a great pick. And like, that's not even like I'm super in on, but he was going in the 4th round like most of the summer. So now all of a sudden with him falling in the mid 5th, it's like I actually don't mind his price. Especially after like Ridley. Ridley's a guy I like a lot. Especially after Ridley, I think DJ Moore is kind of my favorite guy probably. Um but yeah, I like that start. I think I looked at all of them. Oh, and okay, so let's see. So you went Jefferson, Bucky, Tyreek Pickens, Ibuka. So you just got Laporta, Baker. So just Laporta, probably like Laporta. I like Laporta. I think he's fine there. Um, and then, but the big thing is you got Tampa Bay. So you built out your full stack, right? Yeah, you got Bucky and Igbuka with Baker, and then Tyreek Hill bring back. So yeah, no, I like that a lot. Giant game stack. Oh, and Laporta goes with your Jefferson. That's why you picked Laporta. Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like that. I mean, you're clearly, yeah, building out a lot of game stacks and everything. Like, looks like you're building it really smart. I like the team a lot. Yeah. Um. All right. So it's just all about now you just got to land the plane. Um. I would have really liked Juwan there. That's a guy I'm really underweight on, and I'm fine with being underweight on him. But just with the good news of him signing today, he's going to be good to go week 1. I think he's fallen a little bit too far for that. So I would have liked to get him there. We grabbed Keon Coleman, different bye week. I like Tyler Warren. I don't really need a running back. I could grab like Downs. Let's grab Downs if it okay. If it gave me Warren, that would have been fine too. But now I have those 6 receivers I was talking about. I actually got them by round 8. So I could actually even consider stopping at 6 receivers if I want. I'll probably grab a 7th like really late, just some random upside guy. Maybe I'll try to find like a correlation piece or something. Um but yeah, now I feel really comfortable with my receiver room, even with Rice right there. And then I feel pretty good with my running back room still too, right? Because I have Jonathan Taylor and Trevion. So I feel pretty solid with both of those. I'll just have to try to build out with the quarterbacks. It'd be pretty nice if I got Fields back. I might. He's been falling. Or oh wait, no, that's the wrong. Yeah, 108. Okay, yeah, I might get Fields back. Because is that around his price now? Yeah, his price is 111. So if I can get Fields, that'd be good. Obviously T Law is my biggest target. If Fields goes, I might even pull up T Law like a whole like 20 picks just to secure my double because it's the only real stack I'll have left if Fields goes. If I'm able to get Fields, I probably will just let T Law go until the 11th and hopefully I get him. No one should take him beforehand because that is like right at his ADP. His ADP is so that's pick 132. Um his ADP is 130.7. So I should be able to push him, but just if someone takes Fields before me, I'm probably just gonna reach on T Law. Um, which it's a lot of spots to reach, but I think when you're on the turn and I have no other viable stacking options, that's the way I'd have to do it. But hopefully I get Fields back and then I'll be good to go. Yeah, see, like Caleb Johnson right there, 97. Like I think that's like a price to scoop. Like that's why like where I like at the 12, which I've been at the 12 in both drafts, it's just not a good spot for where he's falling right now. Um, Granted, the running backs in general look like they fell a little bit in that range this draft. Like Jordan Mason at 95 seems late too. Um, but uh, so I think here, obviously we're hoping for Fields. We don't really have any other QB outs except for we have the best QB out available. Um, but I don't know. I might not double tap it because I really need a running back. Um, well, I mean, Tootin's my boy. Um, it's Scattaboo, obviously. Uh, but I could go May. Definitely gonna go Fields if he's there. I could go Fields and Scattaboo or Fields and May. Um, let me see. The other puppy I was doing is a master class. Nice. Uh, yeah, and then see now we distract you with this, and then you'll like, or maybe you finished it. You said was doing. Uh, yeah. I mean, sometimes in the puppy streets they just let you cook. And like sometimes it's just like sometimes with the fallers they give you just fits so perfect, right? So here we're definitely gonna take Fields. I think we're just gonna double tap the QBs. I could take Cam Scadaboo though. I'll be back up in the 130s. That's gonna be these running backs. Yeah, we'll let it take Cam Scadaboo. We'll go Scadaboo over Drake May. I got Fields. I think I really need some running back help to make sure I don't like fall behind. Like I think I'm fine with Trevion and Taylor. Obviously I have a rookie and I'm adding another rookie. Kind of they're both in share times, but I think I'm fine with Trevion and Taylor up top. It's just that I think if I wait till too late, my running back room is going to feel too weak. And if I can get T-Law back, then I'm really happy that I didn't take May. Because if I went 3 in a row, that's kind of too much capital, like right there all in a row. Even though I'm known to take 4 in a row sometimes. But yeah, like so if I would have took May there and then T-Law comes back, it would have been fine. Like I'm totally fine building those 3 QBs like that. But I really think it's better for the overall build if I'm able to get Scadaboo. And then if I'm able to get T-Law, hopefully, which he's pretty far down there on the QBs. So hopefully I can get T-Law. And then for the last QB, we could do like an indie guy. We might do like Dimes. Because Drake May goes makes sense. We might do Dimes because I have Josh Downs and Jonathan Taylor. Now that is 2 quarterbacks from the same game in week 17. Not ideal, but it's really the only game I can build out of as a quarterback unless I want to backstack someone. Um, we can see who kind of comes back. Like if Herbert falls, I might backstack him. Um, yeah, because like I don't know if Amwell might take Herbert here for a third QB. You might be done at QB. I don't really know if you're a 3 QB bro or not. Um, and then big fan of the number 11 start. All right. Let's see. Or oh wait, I saw you said never mind. Never mind. Ants team through 7 just surpassed it. Yeah, no, that was a really great start. Especially getting the lad faller, and Adams. I mean Brees, I guess that's kind of where he goes, but like I don't know. It's still a little bit of a fall, and then Burrow back. Addison, that's where he goes. That's a good price. Mason at a great price. But yeah, no, I mean, really good team. 11 was Neighbors, London, JSN, Kyron, Kamara, Pollard. Like that core. Jennings, that's fine. Good value. Warren, fine. I actually think he's a little overpriced now, but I think he's okay to pick him there. Like I wouldn't pick Tyler Warren over TJ Hawkinson personally, but I think just with the hype, it kind of makes sense. And then Bateman Kraft. So nice tight end room. Yeah, like I think this is a really good build too, obviously. And then Jennings and Bateman are going on with those 3. Yeah, no, that's really solid actually. Um, yeah, I like it a lot. Kyron, Kamara, Pollard, super solid RBs, right? Uh, who is Angler? That's Joe Jam 503, number 4 here. Uh, I mean, unless you're saying number 4 like or something, I don't know. I assume it was right when I started the draft, so I assume it was. Uh, if you don't, I'm sniping T Law. Oh, you're sniping T Law. What? You snipe T Law? Oh, like if I don't take him here? Oh no, I was always gonna take him here. I mean, yeah, no, I wasn't gonna pass on him here. Uh, yeah, I don't think I'm really looking at QB right now. We'll queue up Kincaid. I could also just go Burden. Um, I mean, Ramondre's a bring back. We got Kincaid. That's fine. I queued him up first just because I didn't have a tight end yet. I do have a little team correlation with Keon Coleman. I didn't really know what to go with there. Maybe I could have pulled up an Ollie Gordon. That could have been a move. That was something I was talking about last draft. I don't really think of. Didn't think of it there. Uh, but yeah, got T Law, happy with that. Um, hopefully get a decent RB back. We'll kind of see. Burden would have been a decent pick too, but I don't know. Kincaid has good upside. He plays in like the best offense in football, or at least one of them. So even if I don't love Kincaid as a talent, his situation is great, and he's gonna be their he's gonna be their deep threat receiving tight end, I guess so to speak. Like he's not as much of a blocker, but it's like Kincaid can have a massive spike week in a tournament like this that buries you, right? Even if he doesn't have a great season, he's so cheap. Even if he doesn't have a great season, like you might have a Kincaid team with like I don't have another tight end. That was my first tight end, but like you could have a Kincaid team with like Bowers. I mean, you could have a Kincaid team with even just like Hawkinson or Njoku or something, right? If Kincaid has like a massive spike, but he has like a trash season, like you could easily advance him. He's not gonna like kill your advance rate either. He's relatively cheap. Um, so he's a guy like I'm not really in on. I have 5.5%. I'm I guess fading a little, but it's just like I can see the case for like the single week. I just don't. It doesn't really seem like he's gonna develop into much more like as a whole tight end. It doesn't he just seems like he kind of lacks like some of the skills to make like a tight end a tight end. He's more like a really big bodied receiver or something. Because like Dawson Knox plays so much, like so many snaps still. Um, let's see. How's it going? Hey, what's up, Steve? How's it going? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Did you see the nine holes name? I did see it, yeah. Uh, Butt Lick Boy. Great, solid name. Solid name. Has Steve just cramming. Yeah. Well, I think Steve was in the last trap, the sprint or whatever. He's probably doing like 5 of them at once or something. Go down, welcome, Mr. Chat. Oh yeah, me, yeah. Yeah, at the 4, yeah. Me too. This has been one busy day. Still need to do 3 more marathon and sprints for the promo to get to 10. Damn. Damn, that's crazy. You're doing the whole I mean, no, it's not crazy that you're doing it. Like that was good that you're actually man, I was thinking about it. I just I'm cooked. I'm cooked. I did like 3 marathons already today. I did a sprint to kick off the stream. I think yeah, that was a sprint we did to kick off the stream. This is just a puppy that was like the voted one or whatever. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna do 2 more of the marathons and then I'll just I don't know if I'll do more sprints. I don't really know. I don't know yet. I'm I might just like kind of call it after like tonight. Like you have through tomorrow, yeah. Uh to get to 10. Yeah, that's crazy. You're gonna get to all 10 on both. Um no, it is through tomorrow. I don't know. I might try to get in more. I classically those who know me know that I'll say that I'm not doing too many more entries and then I'll have more entries in than you would think based on what I said. Uh I'm thinking Big Naj here. Uh man, I just really like his price in the 150s. Uh so do we want to do anything at QB? Is there anything I really can do at QB? Um I mean like Rogers stuff, I guess. None of his guys are really coming up. I could do like Hunter Henry for a bring back. I think I'm just gonna let it take Ray Davis though. Yeah, like I kind of like that RB room. Just grabbing Ray Davis and Najee there back to back. I feel like my RB room actually feels like pretty strong now. And at receiver I feel strong. QB, that's a little bit weak. I'm gonna add a third for sure. Um I think I'm leaning towards a 3-5-7-3. Somehow I got a ton of Buffalo correlation. Keon, Dalton Kincaid, and Ray Davis all on this team. Too bad I couldn't get an Eagle. That would have been nice for a bring back. But but yeah, we'll see. I could either set up a Rodgers thing or like I was saying earlier, the whole I could just do dimes and just do the same game stack with Jacksonville Indy, just do Daniel Jones. That would be an option too. Um, we'll see what comes back. If there's like options to make like a pretty easy stack with Rodgers, maybe I'll just do that because I still need another tight end. So if I can just do that and get Rodgers, then I can at least have an out to a whole different game. Like that's kind of the downside of the whole, right? Like why I don't want to take the Indy QB. The Indy QB also carries a lot more bench risk than any of the other ones, really realistically. But just because yeah, the Indy QB just carries a lot more risk than the Pittsburgh QB does. Um all right. So can't believe I just got Burden back, LOL. Yep, through tomorrow. So it's just until close, right? Because they're not paying it out till Friday, so it must just be until it closes. Um, and Stack, nice fall. It was on Burden, I assume. Where was that? Burden with Caleb. Damn, yeah, Burden at 140. It's crazy. I should have taken Burden instead of Kincaid. I just didn't need receivers. I should have sniped you. But that's crazy getting back at 140 though. That's a insane value. Cedric Tillman and Josh Palmer and Cedric Tillman over Luther Burden. Oh, but you're a Luther Burden hater. That's why. That's why you're DJ Moore truther. Luther Burden hater. I guess also there is the debate too. Like you didn't have Caleb. I'm talking about Legio's team because he passed on Luther Burden for Palmer, but he had DJ Moore and not Caleb. So maybe you don't really want to get the double when it's like you don't have the QB already. That could be part of it, or maybe you just think Luther Burden's like you're like I wouldn't pick him in the 18th. Kid's a bust. That could be it too. Uh, so here we're definitely gonna grab Mason Taylor. I might just double tap tight end. I'm probably leaning towards just double tapping the game stack tight ends. I'll just do Hunter Henry, Mason Taylor, I think. That's pretty easy. And then that also gives me week 15 with Jacksonville, and then it gives me week 15 with Buffalo, with Hunter Henry, just with Hunter Henry though, so not a huge game stack or anything. And then it gives me week 17 with my Jets. So that gives me oh, and then Jacksonville Jets, that's a week 15 game as well. So I have that fully stacked with my QBs. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We could have looked at Rodgers. I didn't really. I'm kind of just more thinking either I get Daniel Jones or seventh receiver, or I just probably call it at like two QBs. Um, that's what I'm leaning towards. I mean, I would take Sam Darnold. I hate Sam Darnold. I think like he might get benched, but if he was there in the 17-18 turn, I would just click him. Um, yeah, I don't know if I'd really take any of these other guys. Like, a guy like Dart, like maybe if I had some more giant stuff, but I don't think without really I have like Scadaboo, but I don't really think that's enough. Um yeah, I'd really prefer to get dimes. That would be good. I probably have like I have a decent indie stack. So we'll just see though. It just depends. If someone really needs a QB, they'll just take them. And I think dimes is actually Daniel Jones is one you can take on stack pretty easily, to be honest. Uh Yeah, I'm multi-tabling them. Finally finished my DK lamps and drafters main. Been doing some of the cheaper drafts as well tonight. Oh, really? Yeah, I've been doing. Huh? Damn, that's a yeah. You got a lot of them done then. Yeah, multi-tabling them. Finally finished my DK lamps and drafters main. Nice. Yeah, I've been doing some of the drafters mains. I think I'm up to like 35, like just over 30. I'm somewhere just over 30. I think like right around 35 now. Um, I really don't know exactly what contest I'm gonna be chasing. I need to do some math. I think I'm gonna do some math like just tonight, like maybe afterwards. I mean, I could no, well, Yeah, I mean, I'll just do some math like afterwards and just try to figure out like what I want to really put my money into. Cause I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like what I'm trying to figure out was kind of confused me that I got to figure out like how to, I don't have to figure out how to do the math. I know how to do the math. It's not going to be like too hard. What I got to figure out is how much I think it's going to fill because I want to figure out like, oh, this is a puppy. That doesn't matter. I want to figure out like with the sprint and the marathon, like where they're probably gonna fill to, and like how much that changes your ROI. Because like obviously in the sprint, you're not the finals doesn't get any easier just because it overlaid, right? But you probably get more bullets in. So it's like how valuable is that versus like the cut line of marathon being like a larger percentage of the field and like what percentage is that gonna be, right? And it sounds like for you, you're just like doing both. So I mean, I think that's good. That's probably the best way to do it. It's like, hey, they're all plus EV. Maybe just hammer them. But yeah, that was something I was just trying to kind of figure out. Just because like I'm not gonna be able to do insane quantity just like drafting them because I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to do an insane quantity really. Um, So I was just trying to figure out like which one I should put in the most, I guess. But I've just been kind of also mixing in like marathon and sprint equally. Um, that deal me in, and thanks for dropping by, brother. That 2 million is mine. I wouldn't be so sure. I have a 4 QB build that says otherwise. Uh, no, I mean it may be, maybe. We'll find out. The game is beatable, they say. Maybe you figured out how to beat it. Uh, I haven't drafted since last night's stream sprint. I'm at 16 sprints and 15 marathons. Maybe I run each up to 20, or maybe I'm done. Um, yeah. Well, if you do, I mean, if you get the sprint to 20, I would do 21 just so you get the little promo bucks. It's if you do 5, I think you get one entry free. I think that's the promo. If that's wrong, let me know. And it's max 2, so you can do. That's why like Steve says doing 10. Uh, oh, okay. Steve already said this all in the chat. Everything I'm saying, Steve was way ahead, way ahead. All right. Nobody wants Burden. I don't get it. Burden and Noel both. Yeah, I think Noel I get a little bit more because Kirk was getting so much positive buzz and everything. But like Burden hasn't really gotten too much negative or anything like that. He missed some time with some injuries, but I feel like they've talked pretty positively about him. I think Noel, it's not really like he's gotten negative. I think it's just all the positive buzz around Kirk just kind of makes Noel feel like maybe the odd man out. Um, yeah, yeah, you should do 5. You should do 5 to get the promo. Yeah, because it's a free entry. It's a free entry in like the promo credits or whatever. You have 0% Luther. Damn, 0%. He's so cheap though. See, I think like I actually think that one, especially if you have a big stand on DJ Moore, I think it's surprising to be 0% Luther because he's so cheap. Just for like a rookie with some upside, but like if that's your stand, I'm not trying to hate, but I think like 0% that late is like that, like, I don't know, it's just surprising, especially on, like, a rookie. Like, could have, I think, good upside in that offense. I mean, if you just really don't believe in Luther Burden, though, as a player, like, that's kinda what I was saying with Caleb Johnson, like, some people would probably look at me and be like, "How the fuck you have 3% Caleb Johnson? That's dumb as hell." But, like, it's just, like, I don't believe in him as a player, and, I believe in Luther Burden a lot, but, like, if you don't, yeah, yeah, that one surprises me to be 0%. Like, he's a surprising 0% guy, I guess. Because I would think even people who don't like him, like, click him sometimes are just like, "Oh, maybe he has, like, some upside and, whatever the fuck in that offense." But, like, he's just a surprising 0% to see. Komet over Luther. Alright. Everyone over Luther. I didn't like Luther at 100. He's fine in the 120s. Um, I like Luther in the 70s pre-draft. No, I don't think he was in the 70s. He was in, like, the 80s maybe, but yeah, I know. I'm a Luther Burden truther at heart, even though he's a goddamn bear now, unfortunately. I'm hoping to win the free 10. For drafters, I think you're talking about for drafters. Yeah, I mean that'd be pretty sick. Uh, they're pretty sick. I wonder. Well, you mentioned it on your stream. I do wonder. Like is one person winning 10 tickets, or are they gonna give out like a fistful of tickets to like are they gonna give out like a good chunk of tickets to quite a few people? Because their contest is gonna be like their contest is gonna be missed by quite a bit, I would think. Um my guess on Sprint is 80 to 85%. Um that probably sounds right. Okay, so I think what do we want to do here? Um So here's what we'll do. I'm gonna do what time is it? It's like 10 something. Okay, so basically I'm gonna do one more draft. I'm just gonna do another poll. We can either do the same thing. It's just gonna be the same exact poll. Uh sorry if my audio is weird right now. It's because I have the YouTube video open. It'll be fine in like 1 minute. Uh puppy. Alright. All right, cool. So I'll just so I just put the poll in the chat for whatever you guys want to draft next. That'll probably be the last draft of the night. Like whatever we do next. So I'm gonna go over the teams and stuff, catch up with you guys real quick. And then I'll check the poll and I'll check it in a couple minutes and then hop in one more. My guess is Sprint 80 to 85%. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in this room and I'll look at the team quick. So what is it at? 67.3, 55,000 entrants. Yeah, I think you're probably right. So it needs it only needs like 5,000 to get up there about. No, it needs a little more, right? It needs like basically like 5,500 to get in that range. So yeah, I mean, I think it could hit it. 5,500 seems like a lot of entries in the sprint though. Right? Cuz I mean basically it's got to fill like an extra 10% of the total volume to be 10% more, right? So yeah, I mean I don't know. It seems like people are just going to be slamming in autos all day tomorrow though. I guess that's the feeling I get. Like I feel like these are going to just start really closing up tomorrow. And like marathon too, I saw Steve said it. Okay, BP. So my guess on sprint is 80-85. Sprint is a better play. I actually think marathon is better with the overlay. So, okay, well let's see. Marathon is no pods. The EV varied, so I'd much rather be in a pod. Um, the overlay is better. There's no pod. I mean sprint is a pod, I guess, but it's a 9,300 person pod. It's not really like a pod. I mean, it's kind of. You got to win your league, so it is a pod, but it's like I mean, it's also like a giant like sprint at the end. Um I don't EV varied so much I'd rather be in a pod. Why would you rather be in a pod? I mean, wouldn't you rather play the field? Like, cause median, you're probably gonna beat them more often than like variance wise in a pod. 'Cause if you're good, don't you want median? You want marathon, right? I mean, 'cause you want less variance. The EV varied so much I'd rather be in a pod. Wouldn't the EV be varied more in the pod? Game's not viewable, but the field definitely is. Yeah, and we're the field. Yeah. But the cut line doesn't mean shit when it's $20, in my opinion. So, okay, wait. So sprint. So what do you get if you make the finals, you only get your money back, right? But like marathon, if you min cash, you double up. That's the difference too. Marathon, a min cash is a double up. Sprint, like you're still in that 9,300 person final, If you're in the bottom like 4,300, you're only min cashing. If you're in the bottom like 7,300, you're doubling. For marathon, you got to be in the top 12,000 out of 75,000. But let's say it got to 80% filled, right? Just because it's a round number, that means there's going to be 60,000 entrants, right? Because 10%, 7,500, 20%, 15,000, right? So it has 60,000 in it if it hits 80% full. So that means the top 12,000 get paid out of 60,000. That's a 20% chance, right? 12,000, 60,000, 5. Yeah, yeah, that's a 20% chance to double up. But in this, you have to advance first. So with the overlay, let's say the overlay gives you a 50% chance to make it through. It gives you 6 out of 12 pods, which it won't. It's not going to be that good, right? But let's say it gave you 50% pods. It's like in here, assuming your teams just do average, then like with your 50%, it's like I'd have to do the math a little more. And like I said, 6 out of 12 is not even gonna be like that. That's the one thing I gotta do the math on a little bit. I don't know exactly I know how to calculate that, but I didn't actually do it yet to figure out like how many extra teams get through. Because I think it's not gonna be that many. I think it's only gonna be like 3, maybe 4. Like 3 in some pods, 4 in others. Um, so yeah, I think with the min cash being just your flat buy-in and like how well you have to do to beat that, I don't know if the overlay helps you a ton when the final stays the same size. I feel like if the final shrank as a result, that would actually be a lot more beneficial. If it just like basically like took out like or not even took out min cash spots, I guess they would have to add them. So that's why they don't do it. But I think it's like advancing more teams into it. I just don't know, like, I don't think that compares as well, especially with the min cash being double versus what you put in. I think that's a big difference too. Uh, Kirk Hurt, Christian Kirk, or Kirk O'Bans, or I don't know. I assume Christian Kirk. Like, I don't know if you're saying like he just got hurt or that was it might have been related to something with the Texans receivers. Oh, Jalen Noel. We were talking about Jalen Noel earlier. Oh yeah, that's surprising that he's not moving up Kirk's hurt. Start Dak tomorrow or Drake May and ESPN full PPR. Um, I'd probably start Drake May against the Raiders. Definitely Drake May against the Raiders. I think Philly, they could be really nasty like to Dallas. That's probably gonna be a good game, but I feel a lot more confident in Drake May versus the Raiders. That's an easy matchup. Drake May's coordinator is the old Raiders head coach. They fired him. Josh McDaniels probably going to want his revenge on the Raiders. And even regardless of that, I think the Raiders defense is going to be okay, but not anything special. Pretty easy matchup. All right. Holy shit, I'm behind. Kirk is such an injury risk. Couldn't find many clicks for him. Went over Luther is crazy, bro. Yeah. I mean, I think he would. I think he was joking. I don't think he would take Komet over Luther. Maybe he would. There are like 6 players that can absolutely crush me this year. Yeah, no, there's definitely always going to be some that can absolutely crush you. Burden embarrassed some SEC DBs as a rookie and sophomore. His junior year QB sucked. Right. That's what I think too. Like, that's what a lot of people say who are like Burden truthers like myself is like, it's just, the system, like the system was so bad. They were throwing him all the short area. His QB was terrible. Like, this and that. And he does have his issues. Like even the pro Burden people, it's like the effort, all that was an issue at some points. But yeah, like the QB play, the offensive system was just so poor. It's easy to make an excuse for him. If you're like a pro Burden person, right? Pound, what's up, buddy? Hey, what's up, Pound? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Battle Royale tool coming this weekend as early as Friday. Awesome, sick. Yeah, no, I plan on doing a couple Battle Royale streams this year and stuff. Like I plan on doing at least one a week this year. I'm gonna do one either Friday or Saturday and try to do one like early in the week. So yeah, no, that's gonna be that's cool. I used it a little bit last year. I used the BBO, obviously, the best ball overlay on just when I draft like normally. But yeah, I used the BR tool some last year. It's actually really cool. Like, just works kind of similar to like how it does in the draft. It's a little different, with some of the info it gives you and stuff, like game spread, stuff like that. But but yeah, it helps you really keep track of those combos and everything. That way you're not building like the same lineup over and over. Especially when you're trying to do some unique combos and like I don't know, like dog bowls, or you're doing a ton of the BRs, like the six. I guess this is even more useful probably in the six mans because you can build the same combo like over and over without even realizing it so quick. Um, Travis Hunter was in the 120s pre-draft. Yeah, no, that was a really good value then too. That was fun. RJ Harvey was a good value. That was my best value back then. I picked a shitload of RJ Harvey in the pre-draft. It said some. I think they're gonna give out a chunk. For the drafters thing, yeah. Uh, BP, that's why I think Marathon is better because min cash is double your money. Not only will the overlay increase your chance to min cash, the odds for a top. Right, that's what I'm thinking too. Because in the sprint, now you're gonna get more bullets in, so I guess your odds are increasing, but like they don't for any individual team, and that's what makes it like kind of hard to judge. I mean, you can do just your odds for any team to hit that outcome, and then just like increase it by your advance rate expectant, right? But like yeah, that's what makes me think Marathon 2. That's the one I've been leaning towards more. I was being hyperbolic with Kometo. Yeah, no, I mean, I know. I also have 0% commit for Luth. I would expect 0% commit. For Luther, I just don't like gadgety guys. There are a lot of mouse feed in Chicago. I think that the Bears are going to bear. Okay, so you're not super bought in. You just think DJ Moore is like kind of a good pick, but not super bought in on the Bears in general. That actually kind of makes a lot more sense then too. I mean, I mean, to be fair, DJ Moore has put up good stats on absolute dog shit teams for most of his career. That's how he's made a living. So, so not the worst bet to bet on DJ Moore and no one else in his offense. It would have worked more years of his career than not, probably. Uh, you know, so maybe not the worst idea, but I'm pretty bought on the other weapons, but I get the idea. I get the idea why you wouldn't be. They like you don't like the Agi guys with Burden and Rome. It was a disappointing year. Um, Whereas with sprint, you increase your odds to get into the 9,300 person, but your odds of top prize don't really increase. Right, exactly. For any individual team, they don't. And it's like the argument is you get more quantity, right? But I just don't know, like, yeah, because it's so many people still, like you still need the nuts so much. Where I guess in marathon you do too, it's an even bigger like pod per se. But that's with all the dead teams too. Like this pod in the sprint is only teams that won their main pod or came in third with points or whatever, right? In the marathon, a shitload of those teams that are drafted are dead. And you're getting all that overlay. Like you have 20% chance to cash if every team's exactly equal. And it's like at least a certain percentage of teams are dead. They auto drafted, especially early on with marathons and stuff when those things would take hours to fill. There's going to be like dead teams all over the place, or like, slow drafts, right? It's like when it got down to an hour, if some people had way too many or they just auto drafted them, stuff like that. Marathons giving you advantage for all those different pods that were bad, right? And I mean, I guess there's the good teams in those pods, you got to play them too, but it's like, I think the marathon just works out better with the overlay. Is it overkill with my 4 QBs? I will look at the teams in 1 second. I'm gonna kind of rip because we're behind. I need to get into another draft. I'd rather just be in a pod at this time of year. A pod at this time of year, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know what the time of year at the like near the end of the year. I guess you're saying maybe. Like I get like if that's your preference, that's totally fine. I'm just trying to like think like I'm like I don't know. I was just trying to like think about which one it would be. But like my thought was also marathon, like Steve was thinking kind of the same kind of thinking. Like I guess I get what you're saying where like well, but it's a sprint, so it's such a big pod though. That's the thing with the whole pod thing is like it's a pod, but it's a 9,300 person pod. That's like a giant pod. I mean, like it's not really like you're in a pod. Like it is. It's smaller than the marathon, I guess, but like that's gigantic still. Um, right now, at least the sprint is slightly ahead in fill rate as well. Well, yeah, and that's the other biggest thing with this. Why I wanted to go marathon too. Sprint, and I mean, I'm sure all you guys have said it too. Sprint 55,800 entrants, marathon 75,000 entrants. The amount of entrants they each need to hit the same amount, not even like they're not the same, right? So it's like yeah, for every 10%, the marathon needs 2,000 more entrants than the sprint does. So to get to like 76, this needs another 7,500 entrants. To get to 77, this only needs another 5,580 entrants, right? Um, so marathon will also be harder to fill just because it's more people. It is a little cheaper, so I don't know, but it's still 15. That's not really a great price point for most people. Like most people don't play like 15. I feel like 10 is kind of like a barrier for some people where they don't play as much. Because then it's like it's almost like too close to like the next level, like the BBM, I guess maybe. I don't know what it is. Uh Perhaps 6 or 7 think I bake. I will check it out in 1 second. Hey Pound, what's up? Next time, bye, brother. I'm a little bit behind on the chat. That's my bad. People auto tomorrow. There are 4 or 5 people outgoing. Yeah, no, there's gonna be a lot of autos. You have to advance out 12 people, like that more versus an entire field. Well, right, but once you advance out, but the whole point of the no, the whole point of the argument, BP, is these are going to overlay. So this, instead of being 2 out of 12, is going to be like 3 out of 12, right? But once you win your 3 out of 12, if you win your 3 out of 12, or however many, 4 out of 12, or your league median score, however they decide it, it's a 9,300 person playoff pod, pod. It's 9,300 people and it's all against each other in one pod. And if you're in the bottom half, then you're, I guess, like not bottom half, but if you're in the bottom 7,300 out of 9,300, you're going to double your entry. And that's for only the teams that advanced into the sprint part. Versus marathon, if you hit the min, you're already doubling. And that's a 20% chance if it hits only like 80% full, right? So I don't know. Yeah, I lean marathon. That's like the pod thing. Like the pod thing's cool to advance out of your first pod, but you're in like a gigantic pod after, and your min cash for it's really bad. So I mean, I think that's the thing. Like the pods. I mean, it's not pods like a BBM. It's not like a pod of 12 people or 13 people where you're getting a ton of variance. It's 9,300. You're not getting like a ton of variance versus an entire field. I mean, that's an entire field. Like that's a huge field. Definitely rather have cumulative pod. You have no idea who you're facing. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I prefer the high variance of a pod over needing to draft the nuts in a season long or multi-week run. Right. Okay. Yeah, like BBM or something. Yeah, like BBM puppies. Yeah, like I get that. I was more just asking, like, not for these over like classic best ball, but these are gonna overlay. That's why I was talking about the. I prefer regular best ball as well. I mean, that's why I don't have these max. I have best ball mania max, but I mean, or like I have other contest max too. But it's like I don't have these even close. I have like 20 something of each, right? But they're gonna overlay, so I want to try to chase the EV as efficiently as I can. I definitely want the pod in the marathon. I have to have the actual best team out of 75,000 people. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, is it easier to have the best team out of 75,000 or the best team that wins its pod and is the best team out of 9,300? Because it has to win 2 pods and 1 pod's 9,300, which isn't, I mean, it's a lot smaller, but I don't know. It's still a bit like 9,300 is still so many people. But I don't know. Like whatever. It's not a big deal. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna be doing both. Yeah, be in a pod with all early drafters. Yeah, you never know. Know who you go against, who you draft against in the first 14 weeks with the sprint marathon. Just go against it. Right? Got crazy value on JCM. Yeah, I mean, and then they probably had a 5th round Joe Mixon or a 7th round Quinn. Like, there's a lot of guys that move around. It's hard to say. Like, yeah, JCM, Dobbins, and Keenan all moved up, but like, did you get the JCM, Dobbins, and Keenan team, and then also not pick any guys who got injured or got bad news or fell a bunch, on that same team? Like, I mean, yeah, like that's gonna happen every year though. There's always crazy values to be had early in the year. Um, I mean, like, there's some crazy values. Like, here we can. Uh, I don't. I guess I'm not gonna be able to find any. Oh, I guess we go on like BBO actually. We go on best ball overlay. That's actually the here. Pat actually stopped in, so we'll hop over to actually. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do. Better idea. Um. All right, we're gonna speed run through the chat. Uh, sure, injuries will happen, but like allocated volume has moved these guys up so much. Where are these beneficial marathon drafts, in my opinion? So we're discussing a contest and how overlay is giving us a better value in the marathon. Give me a better chance to get into that pool. I did one BR and check out stream day. I think I should it. I have my team. I was in the BR with you, who Hames. I have my teams have a chance to blah, blah, blah. Makes from lower percentage drafted guys. Yeah. So the sprint gets to 80%. It will mean there will be 1,860 wildcard spots. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. That makes sense then. Give me an increased chance for blah blah blah. It will better than finishing spot in turn where top spot is only 100K. It's better to try to get more chance to the big marathon, better to save bankroll. What? Moves you up not enough and moves you up one pay scale. So if you would have made 20, what? That doesn't make any sense. How does it move you? What moves you up a pay scale? The final's still the same size. It doesn't move you up shit in the final. You can still have your $20 team. Like if you're saying because you average more teams, sure, but like it doesn't move you up shit in the final. That's the argument. But I mean, I think you understand that. I don't get what you're saying here though. So if you made 20, the overlay can make you 40. The over how? It's the same final. Yeah, overlay's good no matter the contest. Uh I'm in a frozen draft right now. Anyone else? No, I mean there was no issues with that one. We ended it a few minutes ago. I'm actually gonna hop in another one. Um, all right. I see the bottom. Uh, they could be dead. They could have JCM, Keenan, Dobbins all in the 150 plus. I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, max like the month it opens and be done then. I guess. I don't know. It's so hard to say. Like, you really think they were like just hammering JCM back then? They just knew like when he was barely getting drafted at all. I mean, some people probably were, but the odds they were also hammering the other guys, not hammering any of the dead guys. It's like you're stacking up a lot of like stuff. Like maybe there's one dream team out there that did it. The winner last year was drafted like late June or something. I mean, so it was like random ass, like middle of the summer. The Kyron year obviously was Kyron time. No one was getting Kyron and Puka super early in the summer when they were barely drafted and had super teams. It was those late teams that got the nuts because they knew what was going on, right? It was like like saying like the JCM Keenan Dobbins super teams. Like Keenan and JCM were barely getting drafted. Like Keenan maybe a little more, but like JCM barely. Like I don't think there's gonna be many, but I mean, general overlay is helping with both. Yeah, I mean, of course, overlay is good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously. Yeah. Okay. Overlay and sprint is like 300 points behind and put them in the same chance as the team. Good point. That okay. See, like that. That's a point I can agree with. There we go. Who Hames? See, this is the point with the sprint I can agree with. I get what you're saying with the 9,300 versus 75,000, but chance to win a group of 9,300 you don't because your one entry only has a 20% chance to get in that group to give you that chance, right? It's because it's multi levels, so it's like, yeah, that's why it's different. That's why it's not just 9,300 versus 75,000. Because if it was that simple, then it would be cram the fucking sprint. Um, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You can barely sneak in, and then you could have just as good of a shot as anyone else. Marathon, you'd be fucking dead. Yeah, that's a good point. Joe Jama would have taken Baker on the way. Yes, so it could be 3 out of 12, right? Um, what I will also say is marathon will benefit from teams that are crushing it all year. So like last year, Chase was a much better marathon play because he wasn't great for a sprint playoff type. Uh, Oh, right, because he didn't go off the right weeks for the pods. You're saying, right. Okay, I get what you're saying. We're like, yeah, Chase was the nuts all year, but oh, sorry, he didn't go off this playoff pod week, so you kind of got screwed. Marathon, you get the benefit for being that solid team all year. Or like I think the classic one too from like BBM last year, if anyone remembers, was I think it's Mathology. You know, he had the highest scoring BBM team, and I think he said he got eliminated either first round or second round. It didn't make the finals. I think he said it got eliminated like immediately, but it was the highest scoring regular season team in all of BBM, and you know he min cashed it. And it's like the marathon though that'll that that's not gonna happen. Uh, Hardman talking me into drafting marathons all day Thursday. Damn it, bro! Right, bro. Like I think to me it's just the odds of the double up. It's like I guess like I saw I don't know if it was Steve or BP that said it like marathon or maybe it was Who Hames that said it sprint better for the moonshot, marathon better for ROI. I think maybe that's kind of the way I'm viewing it is like maybe the bankroll thing. Is it just like the barrier to get a double up and then still have a chance to make more on top of that? Like 20% of the field making a double up is like that's a really good chunk. Um I mean, I don't know, and that's if it hits like depending what it hits, like we'll have to see, but I don't know. I'm pretty interested in drafting some more. Um, I'm following. Then it's 9,300 versus then 75K marathon final. It's way smaller. You're both arguing the same thing with different viewpoints. It's all yeah, no, that too. The way you win top prizes was and hope your RBs get you buys, you'll be able to. I mean, I guess if you like building zero RB, I guess. Yeah, like I what the way to win the top prize, Jeff. Um, I mean, like if that's your strategy, I mean, I think there'd be different ways to do the strategy. Uh, I'm with the promo. I should do 10 marathon tomorrow. I mean, realistically, with the overlay and the promo, it's the most plus EV thing. Um, I don't think I'm gonna get in 10, but I might try to get in 5. I don't know. I gotta work tomorrow still. Uh, just when I thought I was out, they pulling back in. All right. Let's see the chat. Sound like Chad Candles for a second there. Let's see. So okay. Oh damn, Marathon won the fucking poll. End the poll. End the poll immediately. Let's go. Marathon won the poll. Hell yeah. All right, we'll enter a marathon at 10:40 on the dot. I will catch up with chat. So 10:40 on the dot, we're gonna enter the marathon. If anyone wants to hop in. I'm gonna enter it on my phone just to make sure I don't get any location shit. But I'll finish catching up with you guys. Oh, I did actually. I said I did say to it's not. I keep wanting to say Joe Jam. It was like Joe Jam, right? I said I was gonna look at your team. I'll look at your team. Uh, yeah, because you asked about your receiver room. Hopefully you're still here. Sorry if you left. But I'll check it out because I remember you asked about it because you did a 4 QB. Yeah. Uh, hell yeah. All right. Baker, Goff, JJ McCarthy, Tua. I mean, nasty QB room. I'm interested. Bucky, Charbonnet, Corey Krosky Merritt, Jaden Blue, Rashard Smith. Um, yeah, I mean that's good. It's a little risky because you only have one guy that like you feel fully confident in, but he's like your anchor. And I think the rest of your guys have good upside. Charbonnet should get some like he's gonna get some work, so he gives you a little bit of floor, and hopefully JCM's getting good work right away. Um, so the sprint and the sprint's still +5. Sorry, it was like it was still plus like hella. Um, uh, All right. So but yeah, Bucky, JCM, Jaden Blue, um, Rashard Smith. Uh oh, so the sprint's still yeah. I mean, I guess people probably don't want to really root sprint. Sprints plus 5 if anyone wants to hop in. Um, probably didn't even need to do the timer thing for that. And no one ripping a sprint. Steve might be in this lobby. I don't know. Might be kind of late. Okay, so Bucky Charbonnet. So yeah, your running back room, I like it. It carries a little more risk because you only have one solid guy. Like you have one anchor, not one solid guy. Like you have an elite like anchor. And then Charbonnet, JCM. I think they'll both get touches, but it just carries a little more risk with some rookies. Charbonnet is obviously like a share time, kind of more 1B in his backfield. Jay Jettis, Tyreek Hill, George Pickens, Amika Buga, Demario Douglas, De'Ami Brown. I think it's too light for a 6 wide receiver build. I think you need at least like for a 6 wide receiver build, you need at least Demario or Diami to probably be like a top 100 receiver or at least in that range. Maybe like a guy like Rashad Bateman at the lowest. And like not him specifically, just like that range. He goes in like the 110-ish range. That's kind of before like a big fall at receiver where you don't see some for a big section of the draft. Um, so I would maybe try to like if you're stopping at 6, I would try to grab another receiver sooner than Demario for the 5th receiver on the team. Because I think you're going to be a little bit like just if any of your guys have a bad week, you're going to be a little bit thin because Demario and Diami might lack a little bit of upside weekly, or they lack floor, right? They might have weeks where they're giving you like very low scores because they're not as involved, or like Demario has some weeks where he's involved, but he's kind of more of like a floor play in that offense. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's better than that. But like I'm just saying, those guys as a 5 and 6 are a little bit weak for that room. But I think your 4 up top are strong. So it's like it's okay, but I would want to see more strength there. Laporta, Harold Fan, Darren Waller. Yeah, I mean that's good. I like that. Um, yeah, I mean, really, it was really. I think where the issue was, you just had to take the 4th QB. I don't know if you said it was autoed or not, or if the 4th QB was like a strat thing because the 4th QB was Tua with Tyreek, so I don't know if that was on purpose. I think just with as much as you spend on the QBs, yeah, it just hurt the receivers too much. Um, you probably had to pull a little from tight end. I did a 4 QB BBM by accident the other night, and that's what I did. I pulled a little bit out of tight end. I just kind of punted a little, and then I put it at receiver instead. And then the rest was kind of similar actually, but it gave me a little bit more receiver firepower where I felt like okay with it. Um, all right, cool. The sprint just started. Or not the sprint, the marathon. We were in a marathon. It was a marathon, like I said it was. Uh, so the marathon just started. All right, cool. So we got Dirty P at the 1. Oh yeah, convinced him. Convinced him. Me at the 4. D. Lutomsky at the 7. And then I think that's it. I think that's it. Um, yeah, I was actually shocked. Oh yeah, that's hella funny. I left that out, and I didn't even know you were in the draft yet. That's great. Um, but yeah, no, I was actually kind of surprised you guys voted marathon. I did not expect that one. Um, I probably expected marathon to be like the dead last one. If if either of those would win, it would be sprint. Um, this is the marathon, so I just want the best guy all year, and that's Jahmyr Gibbs. He's the best running back in the NFL. It's really just that easy sometimes. They give you the best running back in the NFL at 4. You say thank you. Um, I also just push back about how hard it is. I watched Meg have the 138th best lineup out of 135,000 entries last year. It is doable. That was a good one, Steve. Hey, good call putting this comment on a late night stream. I don't think Meg's gonna catch that one. That was a good one. And she only entered like 6 through 7. Yeah, no, I think yeah. I remember her saying that. Are you guys talking about that before? Like, yeah, it was like pretty low quantity. Uh doesn't have to win the first pod. She didn't have to win the first pod, that's probably why. Um if you would have got the best team, then pods won't matter. I just doubt my ability to draft the best team. Why? Don't ever doubt yourself, Dirty P. You got the 101. What could go wrong? You literally got gifted the best player in all of fantasy football. Anyone you wanted in the whole game right there. So, I mean, what could you possibly, what excuse could you have? I mean, you had all the choices on the entire board right there. So, I don't really see any reason the team shouldn't be perfect. That's just me though. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see if Dirty P does build a perfect team or not. We'll find out soon enough. Um, I think people are underestimating how. I think people overestimate how hard it is to draft the nuts in season long versus draft the nuts with the pod variants. Season long is also more about player takes instead of DFS and game theory. Right? No, I mean that's definitely true, right? Marvin Mims isn't gonna nuke and fuck up your whole season in the marathon because you didn't pick Marvin Mims, right? When you were because there's guys like that. I think maybe that's the guys like, and I'm not saying this is personally like happened to me and this is like a personal experience or something. Marathon. Marathon. Uh Probably not the elite tight end in the marathon. Uh yeah, I gotta okay. I'm kinda remembering now. Kinda remembering now. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My point was gonna be like those guys that like the thing that can be I think so frustrating for some people. Like I can't think of I can think of like some where this has kind of hit me, I guess, but not like I can think of like when Amari Cooper had the crazy spike week. I don't whatever year that was. And like that, like crushed my teams in the pods, whatever. I didn't play much volume, whatever year that was. So like it's not like it really hurt me, but like or like Marvin Mims last year in the finals for people. I think that's the thing where the marathon can be nice, where it's like not as much the Judy one because it's not like he was like some horrible pick before that, but like Mims, like if you pick Mims in the marathon, like he's a terrible pick, but because he hit the right week last year, it's like he was the guy you needed, and that's fine. That's a fun part of the game we play, but it's like you're not like in a way you're almost not being rewarded for like if you are able to draft like a great team or I don't like the highest scoring team, right? It's like but then the variance didn't work out right and so it's like it didn't really matter at all. Like now they have the BBM like the season long prizes or whatever. I think I probably don't want the elite tight end, I don't think in this. I think like I could, but I don't think in general it's good. I probably don't want Kyron with the same bye week. I could have taken Jade in there. That probably I like Tyreek Hill though still. So I know a lot of people are out, but I'm still pretty in just with like his red zone role is rolling that offense. I'm still pretty bought in on like I don't know. I think the Miami offense could implode as a whole, but I just think Tyreek's like role if everyone stays healthy is so valuable, even if he isn't quite the player he used to be. Um, I think like he's getting tons of red zone targets. He's getting like, he's just getting all the targets he can handle with like Tua. I think if everyone's healthy, it's just kind of going to come down to health. But yeah, no, that's a good point. Like all the week 17, this stack, that stack, bring backs, all that, right? Like people are getting a book at like 80, Dobbins in 150, JCM around 18, Keenan Allen. In a marathon, I would just rather do a contest. I don't have to worry about that weeks 1 through 14. Well, I mean, but okay, that argument I think really doesn't make sense because if you're saying they got all these late guys and they're all smashes, Well, when they all fucking smashed in the sprint, they made the finals. I'm sure they beat their pod for the most part. If like the argument is they got all the smashes, so there's no chance I can win the marathon against them, they're going to be in your sprint pod. I guess you're saying because in your sprint pod, they're not going to be hot that week. But like, that's just assuming that all those guys are also the big smashes. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't worry too much about the guys who people got later. Like, I don't think my teams with Dobbins at 180 are like some of the teams where the running backs are weaker. I'm like, oh shit, I got Dobbins at 180. That's nice. They're not like fucking super teams because of it. Or like Keenan at receiver. Like, I mean, fuck is Keenan at receiver. Like, you're talking about guys who go in like the 120s now. Like they can be big boosts, especially if you got all of them. But as like individual players, they're not like it's not like you're talking about like you got like a shitload of Zach Charbonnet and Ken Walker just tore his knee today, or something like that. And Zach Charbonnet or Ken Walker tore his knee like 3 weeks ago or a month ago, and people were taking Zach Charbonnet in the second round, and you got him in the 10th or whatever. It's like these are risers, and you got good value if you got them late, and they can be very helpful to your teams. But I really don't think having J.K. Dobbins or Keenan Allen, unless R.J. Harvey gets injured or something, I really don't think that's going to be the difference to you having the mega dominant team akin to like what the Saquons and Henrys were doing for people last year. I really don't. It's going to help those teams, but I really don't think it's going to be oh my God, it's insurmountable that he had Keenan Allen and J.K. Dobbins and JCM on his team. Maybe if JCM's like Kyron fucking Williams, maybe, but those other guys, like they're good picks and they help those teams when you got them super late, but they're not going to be like giant league winners going in the first round next year. Keenan Allen, he's good floor. He could give you some spikes for sure, but like those guys aren't like league winners. Maybe JCM could be, but the other guys, I don't think so. Steve Show, I post my BBM exposures and Who Am channel on our Discord. Oh yeah. That was pretty interesting, Dirty P. I thought your exposures looked good. I actually really like your fade list. Your fade list was fire. All three names, loved them all. JSN, my personal favorite fade of yours, because I also fade JSN. The other ones, honestly, like I have 1.3% JSN. The one that makes me a little upset is like Worthy. Like I got 6%, but like honestly, I just kind of capitulated. Like I didn't have much early, and I was like, damn, like Rashee Rice might really get suspended. I should probably pick some Worthy. And good thing I did because Rashee Rice getting suspended. But I Worthy was the only guy. Like you had a huge fade on him. I can't do like his single week, right? His single week can fucking crush you. In this, I could fade him. I'll fade him in this for sure. There will be no Xavier Worthy on my marathon teams. Maybe if I get a value or whatever. But yeah, single week I couldn't do that one. But I like the fade. I couldn't do it on Worthy. But I respect you for doing it. Doing what I wasn't brave enough to do myself. And that's like full fade Worthy. So I think here, I don't think I want to get Laporta. I think that's probably too much Detroit, especially with like Gibbs. I spent really high capital on him. Rome would be my ideal pick here. See, like this contest, I'm probably not gonna grab Rice unless he falls to like the 7th. If I get Rome, I would probably Rome goes. Not really a big deal. I'll probably grab Debo. I'm thinking. I like Debo. I like Olave. I like Diggs. I like Rice, obviously, but I think in marathon, I'll just let him fall for a while. I have enough Rice in every other contest at way too expensive of prices. So we'll let him fall in the one where it actually matters what your score is week 1. All right, I'll go back to the board. I'm still a couple picks away. So yeah, I guess we're kind of hoping there. Like we could look at Rice. Even then, it might be kind of tough. BP have a marathon team with like Buka at 110. That team also has Rice at 30. Most teams will be mixed bags like that. That's the thing, like, because I drafted a lot, like, right when stuff opened, and it's like, I have some that have just insane values, like, oh, it has, like, Ricky Pearsall at 90 or, like, in the 80s, and Dobbins in, like, the 190s or something, and, I had a lot of Dobbins late, I had a lot of Pearsall when he was going later, so, that would be a pretty realistic combo for me or something, but it's like but then, like, for me, it had, like, Quinshawn the round before, or some shit like that, and it's like, "Oh, okay, well, that just kinda fucked you there, right?" Um, I like Hawkinson probably the most. I think that's who I'm gonna go. I mean, I like Rice. I coulda went him as my 5th, but I think like I was saying, maybe Rice in the marathon, kinda no bueno. It would've been my 5th receiver. I think I coulda handled it, but, and he goes right after, and I think that's, like, a good pick for that guy. That was his 5th receiver. Um, I don't know. It just in the marathon, it feels like it really does hurt so much more because I mean, you don't you're just getting 6 zeros, like, right? You don't gain anything later. Like, at least in the BBM, you gain, like, leverage in the sense of, like, people might have a little bit harder time advancing, right? So if you do, you have, like, a lower owned guy because he missed all those weeks, but, like, in this, you're just, like, losing points. And, like, I guess it's, like, where at what point is 6 zeros in a row worth the rest of the week's production? So, like, you're losing a third of Rashi Rice's production for the year, basically. I I mean, I guess, like, 7th round is probably pretty fair for Rice, I guess. Um, is anyone's game weeks 14? Oh, it's anyone's game. Right, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, and I will say that's a good point. You can sneak a team in and be just as competitive. Or wait, outs. 30 I'll have to check it out later. I'm still trying to finish all my drafts. Uh, the finishing position, more teams hit the money. Right. No, I get it. Okay, yeah, I do get it. Like, so yeah, I think that is maybe fair to be like the sprints your better chance to hit a big outcome. My bad. The sprints your better chance to hit like a big outcome, but like the marathon is maybe your better chance to like grind up some bankroll, right? Um, I got a lot of Ollie 18th round. I mean that's sick. Ollie, I mean Ollie's one of the best 18th rounders. So Joe Jam's the reason you can't draft the fucking marathon anymore. You ruined it for all of us with all your 18th round Ollie. Why am I even still drafting teams? It's already been won. Uh, yeah, and a BBM that's currently froze out, and UD customer support is blowing it. Damn, that sucks. I had that happen. Oh, they had that like it was like a month or two ago. But like, um, yeah, I don't know. It was like a month or two ago, and I remember they refunded a bunch of drafts that night too. But but yeah, it was like you had to contact them and shit. And like for some people, they said it was kind of a bitch to get their stuff refunded. Some people said it was really easy, but then some people said it was like a little bit of a pain in the ass. I think just downs here for the top receiver. Um, I like Dobbins, I guess. Uh, I don't really have any QB options right here, so I think I'll probably just grab the best running back available. Is probably my move. Dobbins would be good. I already have Walker, so no Charbonnet. I don't really take much Charbonnet anyway. I don't know. Like to me, like Charbonnet is just the most expensive handcuff on the board. Let's see. So 165 the year before, 89.6. Obviously, you got some starts, but like, what did like or here we'll make our pick quick. I think we'll take Dobbins. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know, like so 165, 89. Like, what does like Tyler Algier put up? 99, 128, 151. Oh, 151's the year without Bijan though. 128, 99. So like but with Shart or with Walker missing a few games, I don't know. I feel like if Walker, I guess that's the thing. I feel like if Walker stays healthy, which I guess maybe it's because that's a big if. Maybe that's why Charbonnet goes so high. It's just like if Walker stays healthy, Charbonnet is kind of just like a horrible, horrible pick, right? I mean, like he's like a horrible pick for your team if Walker stays healthy, because like he's the most expensive guy who like gets absolutely ruined if another guy just stays healthy. At least to me, I mean, like maybe you could say Dobbins because like Harvey will just wash him. Um, which if that's your argument, like totally fair. I don't even really disagree with that. But but yeah, it's just like with Charbonnet, like I can never get to him much because it's just like I know he's good when Walker goes down and he's better than most backups when the starter goes down, but like I don't know. Like why do I want like I don't know, like why do I want him over like Ray Davis? Like what's the point in clicking Zach Charbonnet at like pick 100 if I can just get like Ray Davis, and it's not like he was quite as good as Charbonnet, but I mean Walker missed a few games last year. Like I think James Cook might have missed one game last year. But but yeah, I just feel like Charbonnet I don't know. It's like he needs a big injury to hit, and he's the most expensive guy who needs an injury to hit. So that's just why I don't know. I never get to Charbonnet. Um, sorry for that random rant. I saw the 2%, and it made me think of why I never picked Zach Charbonnet. Eckler was a better value. Wait, Eckler was a better value than JCM. Um, oh, like before when he was going in like the 170s. Yeah, you're probably right to be honest with you. Eckler is like the guy. He's like disrespected. They're like fuck Eckler, he's old, and then the team's like, well, he's the RB1 though, and then the community's just like, we don't care, we don't care. He's old. You ever heard of Bill Merritt? Um, yeah, I don't know the Eckler like disrespect is kind of crazy. Um, man, there are wow these top three players all in a row. Um, you have yeah, fuck it. We'll just take Jared Goff. I was trying to look at those teams next to me. Sorry, I went silent for a second. I was trying to look at those teams next to me and kind of just see what their QB situation was, or like if they had any Detroit or anything like a Laporta or something. Um, and I just noticed their builds are a little bit weird. Like they had Josh Allen and Kyler both on stacked. Obviously Dirty P is building fine, but they had Laporta. So think I don't think you would have taken Goff because you already had two QBs with like Burrow and May. But maybe you would have because you had it stacked with Laporta. Um, I don't know. I don't know if you would have or not, but like they, would have been a risk because Laporta was there, and then these two, I'm not as sure, especially this one with the Josh Allen, Kyler, both on stacked. So I felt like I had to grab my Jared Goff there. Unfortunately, Dirty P gets Scattaboo. That was kind of who I knew wasn't coming back. Um, do we just get two QBs in the same game? I think we do because I don't have a lot of good outs. I can focus on trying to get Tua on the next turn. But yeah, I just don't have a lot of good outs, so I'm gonna get both guys in the same game. Obviously not ideal. It gives you less outs week 17. We all know that. This is a marathon though, which I totally knew, so that doesn't matter at all. Uh yeah, no, this is a marathon, so that's actually sick. We got JJ with Hawk, we got Goff with Williams and Gibbs. Um yeah, no, actually I really like the start I have so far then. So far 2-3-5-1, Jared Goff, JJ McCarthy, Jameer Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, J.K. Dobbins, AJ Brown, Tyreek Hill, Jameson Williams, Debo Samuel, Josh Downs, and then at tight end TJ Hawkinson. Um so yeah, I mean I'm really happy with actually how this build's coming out so far. Pretty balanced all around. I feel good with all my rooms like where they are right now. So yeah, actually pretty happy with how it's coming together. Obviously I could have got like a little bit better. Well, I'm still gonna try to get my Tyreek stack hopefully with a QB with Tua. If it doesn't happen, it's not really like a big deal because like I can even just stop at these two. I'll probably try to throw a third guy on at some point, but I don't know. I'm probably good with like Goff McCarthy. That's fine. Um, that Kyron point is very true for this year. That might be Aoman or Horton Ollie, who are barely getting drafted early summer. Um, yeah, I mean, Aoman or Horton Ollie, it could be. I mean, if Ollie has a big role in that offense, scores a bunch of touchdowns, right? Uh, Manor, if he's just kind of Cam Ward's guy. And then yeah, Horton might have kind of the hardest route to being like the true breakout, just because he has so much established talent in his way. It might be hard for him to really get like enough volume to be that true breakout like year one. He might get to the point where like, if Horton is really good, like it might be the point where near the end of the year he looked like, he had a big game or two and then next year we're fucking hyped, right? But he seems like a little bit harder to see it just because they have established guys in front of him. Like I think he could have a good year still, but to be like the mega breakout, like you're saying like maybe be like a Puka or a Kyron level. I think he's probably got a little bit too much in front of him for that, like that level breakout. Um, I don't know. I heard a rumor that Quinshawn might sign soon, and whenever they say that on the Twitter machine, I like to get bamboozled by it at least one time. So we'll grab Quinshawn right here. I'm sure tomorrow I'll read a new update that Quinshawn actually hasn't even talked to the team in 3 months or something. He's planning on retiring. But we'll see. So we got him there. Oh, there we go. Okay. But yeah, no, I mean like Ioman or Ali, I could see those. Like Horton, maybe. It's just like it seems hard for me to see him being that big of a breakout with that many people on a team. Tootin or Blue would have been good to get back. Didn't get either. Um Tua's gotta be available, right? Yeah. We'll just grab Tua right here. Unless this guy does, but there's QBs ahead of him. Okay, Michael Penix, cool. So we got Tua with our Tyreek stack. Um, so pretty happy with that then. We got our Miami stack with Tyreek. We got Jamo with Goff, Hawkinson with McCarthy. Feel pretty solid with the receiver room overall. RB room actually doesn't look bad. Obviously, Quinshawn, he carries a ton of risk, no doubt. But I think he also has a ton of upside as my RB4. I have Gibbs up top, so like a hero or anchor. So I feel pretty strong with it. And he's an anchor, but I still have Walker as an RB2. So yeah, I feel pretty good so far with it. All right. Well, more than 20% now with the overlay. That's true, D. Lutomsky. Um, with the Eckler. I just first sprint over marathon. If I had one to benefit from overlay, so which one do you prefer? Yeah. So best regular season team and lost round one. Bullish for sprint thesis. Well, yeah, I mean, but unless you're the dude who built unless you're the dude who built the monster, unless you built the monster, right? I mean, it is in the sense that yeah, maybe you have more teams with a shot theoretically, but realistically, you don't have more teams with a shot because only a couple outcomes are going to actually work out. Like so, I guess you have more shots at having that team that does have the real shot. Um, yeah, no, I do get what you're saying. Yeah, like it's your chance to make the big amount. I think that the advancement increase isn't going to be enough for me to lean towards sprint. Like, because it's probably only going to get to like, because I think people are going to cram it. I also do think the total amount of entrants is going to like make somewhat of a difference in how much overlay they have. Because sprint's like 20,000 less people for the whole contest. I don't know. I really want to see how much people are cramming like tomorrow morning just auto draft go like too hard, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Before I go too hard, I say. Uh we've been drafting teams. Um but yeah, like I don't know. I'm just interested to see it. Are people gonna like are people gonna be like just aping in like 150 autos? Like I'm just so curious to see if people are like how much people are gonna fill these. Cause it's crazy what I like what you can see in some days of um you have Jaden Daniels. No, I'm gonna take Zach Ertz then. Um yeah, I needed a second tight end. I like Tesla there, but I have him stacked, but I have double Detroit already. So I don't really need another Detroit piece on top of it. That's fine. I like getting Ertz there. I actually feel like Ertz is a pretty good value in general. Um, yeah, but I think that's pretty good. But yeah, no, I mean, I think in that sense it is. I think, yeah, whoever said the thing of whoever it was one of you three. It was either BP, Steve, or Who Hames. I don't know, or there was someone in the chat. Whoever said it, sprint is better for your opportunity to get the moonshot. Marathon is better for your overall like ROI/bankroll. I think that's the way to view it. That seems because that seems to track also both arguments from both sides, right? So like like marathon, you might get a shitload of double ups, but maybe you don't hit that top mark. But by the end of it, maybe you hit enough double ups and you hit one or two pretty good outcomes. We'll just go Woody Marks there. Don't really like a lot of those running backs. Kind of need a fifth. Rookie with juice. Starters hurt for who knows how long. Nick Chubb is his biggest competition right now, I think. So Woody Marks guy mixing in. Damian Pierce guy I think is fine to mix in as well. Uh, haven't got to him too much. I think me and Who Hames might have picked him on a stream together. Uh, but like Who Hames was recommending him. But yeah, like any of the Texans dudes are a fine pick, other than probably Joe Mixon. I mean, you want to pick Joe Mixon, do it at your own risk. I'm not clicking his name, but I think any of the Texans guys who are actually going to play this year are probably good clicks. Um, but Mixon 175. I mean, fuck, he misses 8 weeks and comes back for the second half. I mean, you crush right at 175 even. Like he misses half the year, it's still a great pick. Um, yeah, between weeks 15 and 17, Chase was like wide receiver 12 to 15, nowhere close to best first round pick. Oh, I didn't know that for the total. Like if it was a sprint style, huh? That's interesting. I like variants. Yeah. See, but BP, that's the problem. I'm out here cooking all the time, right? And I'm sick of variants because I want to be rewarded for my goddamn cooking. Building these monsters. Stop giving me the pod luck. Give me total points. Give me total points. Let me prove myself in the arena. The real arena, the total points arena, not the pod luck arena. Um no, I'm just fucking around. I'm tired of this one. Late. Oh, my bad. Don't get me wrong, I like both formats. I just lost the Dinger team where I was the 64th highest scoring team in the 3,100 semifinals team. Holy shit, that's crazy. 64th highest in the whole fucking thing. That's insane. That is actually insane. I'm sorry to hear that, Steve. Um, damn, that's crazy. Luckily, football's about to be here, and you have a good track record of making the finals in that. At least I heard. So at least football's about to be here. The bread and butter. So I think here. I mean, I probably just need receivers. I guess. I think my running backs are fine. Um, I mean, I don't know. Pat Bryant. Uh, why not? I just click Pat Bryant a lot in the like 16th, 17th round. Um, it kind of seems like all the news around Pat Bryant has been like decent or to like good, overall. They got rid of Vele. That was good news. He's still pretty cheap and he plays on a good offense. Sean Payton's talked pretty well about Pat Bryant. Looked decent in the preseason, I guess. Like not anything crazy, but looked okay. Got some usage. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Pat Bryant where he goes. Like, I think he's a fine pick for just kind of some depth on there. You know, a little bit of rookie upside, mystery box type stuff. Uh, I really don't think I need actually, yeah, let's grab the third tight end. I was gonna say I don't think I need it, and then I saw Harold Fannon's name, and then I realized the errors in my ways. Um, yeah, we need Harold Fannin. Uh, you know, I found out it's now okay to take Harold Fannin in your drafts, and ever since I got the approval, just been hammering. Um, yeah, no, that's tough. But football's about to be here. And that's here. You know, that's Steve's wheelhouse right there is the football. Um, Zero Hero has been the winning strat past few years, pretty sure. Um, Maybe I know like isn't well, I know Liam is a double anchor. I thought Patty Millions is a double anchor too. I don't know. I don't really know BBM winning lineups that well, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know. I bet it had fucking Joe Burrow and T. Higgins on it though. I bet it had those two. Um, that's all I know. I bet it was a Bengal stack. Um, Past few years, pretty sure. Here's the last one to win with an RB start. I thought Liam's was an RB start, wasn't he? Um, now we gotta look. It's probably in the comment. I'm gonna get if I ever get through the comments, I'll check. If not, if anyone wants to check, I thought either or someone probably knows. I thought either Patty Millions or Liam did an RB start. I could be wrong. I thought one of them did it with like Eckler, right? Isn't one of them Eckler and then another running back as their second pick? Like Eckler and Aaron Jones. Is that Pat Crane start? Eckler, Aaron Jones? I think it is. But I that for some I know it's Eckler in the first round for whoever. It's either him or Liam as Eckler, and I thought it was a running back in the second. But um but yeah, okay. So we're in the 18th here. We need a receiver for sure. Running back looks solid. You know, receiver actually looks solid, but we'll just throw a seventh on. Let's just try to get some upside somewhere. And what more upside could you get within Dontavion Wicks? Um, we could look at running back. I mean, like Blake Corum wouldn't be bad. Um, I think we just let it take Wicks. Yeah. Jaden Reed's dealing with a foot injury. Maybe Jaden Reed needs to get surgery or something, and Dontavian Wicks is actually getting good snap share. You know, he'll still drop about 50% of the passes, but maybe he'll catch a couple one week and get a touchdown or something, hit your lineup once or twice. And for an 18th round pick, what more can you ask for, right? Um, all right. So, all right. My highest scoring, second highest was drafted on 5'11". Right. Okay. Right. Exactly. Yeah. No. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah. I really don't think the early thing is too much of a. I think it depends so much on year because you just don't know what's gonna happen, right? Um. How about last draft? I did look at your team actually. Here we can look at it really quick. I'll look at it right now. Um. I did look at it, but I was like in the middle of just like random chatting, and I was like, oh shit, I never looked at your team. So then I did quick, but I have no idea how the fuck you would find that because it was randomly. Um, all right. So right now, when I pulled up your comment on screen, how about last draft? Uh, let's see. How about last draft? Anglerwood. So you had the 4-5-6-3. So we did kind of look at this. So it's Baker, Goff, McCarthy, Tua. So obviously QB room super strong. It's that's heavier capital than you should spend. Reached a little for Baker, reached a little for Tua as your fourth. Definitely shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't have a fourth in general. Um, Are you yeah, I don't know. Well, like, so are you newer to the best ball in general, or is this like a different build you're trying than normal? So like if you're newer in general, um like just a piece of advice would be like, and I'm sorry if you're not newer and I'm like this is like sounds like me being an asshole right now. Like I'm sorry, like because this is not a normal build to have these four QBs this high. Um Unless you were shitting on me because I did it accidentally like yesterday on stream. That would actually be hilarious if you were like it was a tribute. Uh Funniest shit ever. But like um yeah, I don't know, especially with the like reaching on them. Like Baker, you didn't know you were gonna have four by them, but reaching on Tua, usually, you always want to stop at three at the most. Like, yeah, three at the most in general. But I said your RB room was pretty good. You have your Bucky anchor. Your other four RBs, I think you have like a decent floor. Like Charbonnet will get some touches. But then your other three guys kind of have some risk. I think JCM will get some as well, but his week one role is pretty questionable. So those guys might be a little bit lower floor early, but I think your four guys down here could kind of come on, and obviously Bucky's like carrying the RB1 spot, and then your receivers look solid. But I would think, what did I say? Oh yeah, like if you're gonna do like obviously the move is you just don't pick Tua or you don't pick JJ, like you skip one of the QBs and you make them a receiver, and this team is like great. Like that is the only difference you needed to make, and this team would have been great if you would have switched out like who's the worst stack? Like who's the stack that matters the least? Um Definitely Detroit with Laporta. It's only with Laporta. Yeah, if you would have just instead of Laporta, or not instead of Laporta, sorry, instead of Goff, where'd he go? Yeah, like you could have got like Marvin Mims or Christian Kirk or something. And I know that doesn't sound like some insane difference to your team, but just with how thin you are in that range, like adding like a Christian Kirk here, that just gives you another layer of floor before you get to like these lower guys and like another guy, just another body. Um because yeah, I think just the stopping at 6, especially with these 2 at the bottom, like, if any of your top guys fail you, you're just, like you're opening yourself up to such a low floor with, these guys as your 5 and 6, right? It just opens you up to such a low floor without a lot of, like, legitimate options. Or, not legitimate. I mean, Demario Douglas and De'Ami Brown are legitimate options. It's just, like, without as many, like, higher end options. So because you only have like 4 in kind of the upper range, right? And then Laporta, Fan, and Waller. That's pretty strong. I actually think you could have cut out either Waller or Fannin, one of the two. Same thing. Throw it at receiver. Um, like even that would have made it just a little bit better. I know it would have been late as well, so it would have been another guy in this tier, but it just gives you another out, just another guy, another body there. Where with Laporta, you're picking him kind of like an elite tight end. You're building around that game a whole bunch with the Minnesota, Detroit, all that. So like you don't need to I don't know, like you just don't need to go as crazy with like, you don't need to get like Goff and stuff with it too. Like you already built around it so much. Um or well, and like you've already built around it so much and built around him, it's like you don't really need 3 tight ends because you spent like pick 69. You're kind of all built around Detroit in that game in a sense. I noticed you stacked your quarterbacks too. So are you just I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. But okay, so anyways though with your team, basically the only issue, like you should have spent a little more capital at receiver and then less at quarterback. Also in general, you don't want to game stack your quarterbacks, but I think it can be decent. It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but I mean it's not like that bad. That sounded horrible. It's not that bad. Uh it's just the receivers down here are a little weak, but you're strong at every other position. So, like your RBs are fine, but QB and tight end are really strong. So, I think it could get you through maybe. Um I just think the receiver firepower will be lacking a little. Emil Hartman out. Peace out, who aims. The bait and switch. What? No, I was in the lobby. It just took how long to fill. No, I was like that whole time I joined it at 10:40. It was just like it was sitting at like +5 or +6 for how long? I think I said +5, but um, but yeah, I don't know, like, cause I just like had like I just like had my phone in my hand, like I just like I just like click the little enter button, right? But like, yeah, I just had it like right there. Like I don't know. Did I rug pull you? Wait, I'm in both. Fuck, Steve wants. Oh wait, this isn't even the right draft. I forgot I was looking at the last puppy. Did I not enter on time? I might not enter on time. I thought I entered on time. Maybe not. Oh yeah, Steve wasn't there. Well, see, Steve, I was just trying to help you out get your promo done. You're welcome. Alan Hill, what's he doing? Marathon. Okay, I was definitely in there before 10:41. There's no way. Because I was looking at my phone. It's at 10:40. There's no way. I was in there. I'm in this friend / non-Hartman marathon and the next sprint. So if he did that, I'll be in it. Okay, the sprint. I messed up. I said sprint by accident. That's my bad. That is my bad. I think he just autoed a fourth QB. No, he game stacked his QBs. Or wait, I don't know. I don't know if you were talking about the puppy guy, or I don't know if that's a shot at myself. I don't even know what's going on. I'm so far behind. This was all like an hour ago. This was when the draft started. Also the marathon street says free, blah blah blah. And another guy took Josh Jacobs' love. That's a good one. Yeah, Josh Jacobs' love. It's stack. I popped 2 MB and just started BBM. Hell yeah, BP. Go. Get some nice stacks. Pick CD Lamb. Sour fucking fab PP. Hell yeah. Quit vaping 3 years ago. Miss it every day. Thanks for the input. Oh yeah, of course. And like yeah, I mean, obviously I kind of said we're near the end now. Um just in general, like because like I want to give you like usable input that would kind of help. In general, um okay, so you don't want to stack like how you were okay, I'm just gonna explain it quick because I really want to explain this really quick. I mean, we're done drafting, so I mean, if anyone wants that out or whatever, go for it. Thank you guys all so much for stopping by, all that. But I just want to explain this real quick with the puppy, just in case, like if you're a newer player, like if you're trying to figure it out, um, like, it went on my team for some reason. Let me refresh it because it's not pulling up all the stuff. Um, so this was a puppy draft, right? So a puppy draft, you play it very similarly to BBM. It's just a little bit smaller pods. But it's very, very similar to just a BBM on a smaller scale. So for example, you game stack your QBs, right? And like game stacking is good in general, but you don't want to game stack QBs because basically if that game's a dud, like you stack them for week 17 specifically, right? If that game's a dud, then both your quarterbacks are dead. Where like a receiver could still make it out of a dud game, or a running back or a tight end could make it out of a dud game. Like Laporta could score a touchdown and have a good tight end game, and Goff could get you like a 15, right? And it could be a low scoring game that's not good for either offense. And you have both QBs, so now you just like you only have one game that can get you there. Where like let's say instead of that, if you had JJ McCarthy and then instead of Goff, you had like Dak Prescott, then if the Dallas Washington game is a shootout, you have Dak with Blue and Pickens. Or if the Detroit game is a shootout, you have McCarthy with JJ. and you have Laporte as a bring back, right? So like it gives you more games that could get you there if you were in the finals versus when you stack your QBs, that gives you less games that could be potential outs. Um, and then other than that, honestly, I would just try to get a little bit more receiver volume in general. Like if De'Ami Brown, like let's say if De'Ami Brown wasn't on your team, and instead of him, you could have gotten like a one of these guys in like the 100 range or even a little earlier, like a Downs, Bateman, Shaheed, Higgins, or even like a guy in this range, like where you took Baker, kind of. If you would have maybe taken like an Addison or a Diggs, like a Diggs right there or something. And I know you built a big stack, so you don't not over Baker, but maybe over like Laporta, or just like that's for an example. But in general, I would try to get a little bit better receiver firepower, maybe in this like 100s range. Um, and I would spend less capital at quarterback than this, especially not do 4. I'd probably stop at 3 pretty much always. Um, unless you auto a 4th one by accident, and that happens to all of us sometimes. Cause it'd be that way. Um, what draft did we just do? We did a marathon. Guys, I'm tired. I woke up at like 5 a.m. this morning. I'm tired. I was up late last night because Huhames peer pressured me into doing a sprint. So it'd be like that. It'd be like that. But I did say marathon. I was all messing up with that countdown. Um that's another positive about the marathon. Any like bad drafters autoing only help that particular pod advance. But every dead bad lineup and every single draft help. Right. Yeah. Yeah, every single bad team helps you, right? Um the 2 ambience lead me to a CD AJ Brown lad start. Damn, nice. Yeah, that's a nice start. You sold us on the marathon. My bad, Dirty P. I didn't mean to do that to your bank account. You thought you were making it out safe, didn't you? You thought you were done. And just like that, you're back. Um Steve Shoops, that makes sense. I haven't thought of that. Every bad team pushes someone else towards min cash. Right, exactly. They just all clog up the bottom. They're basically just also overlay, right? I mean, a dead team is just more overlay in a way. You were talking about all the dead marathon teams that remind me that most of my marathon blows, most of my marathon blows are dead. I just didn't expect it to end like that. That cracked me up. That one got me. Um, I'm sure I'm probably right there with you. I probably don't have as much mixing, but Rice Judkins, I bet I'm right there with you. Um, I wasn't Shade Meg. Just saying that. Oh, just saying that it isn't impossible that she wrote about did a major miss. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was just like the way you wrote it. I don't know. I think there was a tone. There was at least a tongue in cheek to it. Um, maybe not though. Cooper and Pickens same week. Cooper and Pickens same week. Wait, like them going off the same week? Or wait, I don't know. I'm not getting it. Cooper and Pickens same week. Like Amari Cooper and George Pickens? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know what this could mean. Um Dirty P, everyone has it. Some still might make cash. I'm at more now with people are autoing and not even coming close. Yeah, no, especially some people, they just kind of like ape it in. They don't even do like it's crazy. Some people would be like they just like auto and they don't even use rankings. Which the only downside of that is then you get no value. That's the only kind of like you can still kind of play them for like structurally, I guess, but like you can I don't know, it's hard because you don't get value when people are just autoing all the time. Um they can go off weeks 8 through 13. I don't care. 14 to 17. Yeah. Uh no, it's more Buka at 110, Pearsall at 90. Um well, it's a perfect example of both though, right? Because if he had that in the sprint, he's fucked. If he had it in the marathon, he's cooking. So are you a mathology or are you I don't know. I don't know what the opposite is. But because I mean the team would have done very well in one contest. It would have done very poorly in the other. But I mean, if you built that team, like I bet Mathology is like, if I could build that team and put it in one contest, he's not putting it in the sprint, he's putting it in the marathon. You know what I mean? Like the team that he built, he would rather be a marathon team, obviously. Um, so like it would have won that velocity. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's good for one, bad for the other. Um, I'm trying to make Steve jealous with my team. All right, let's see. Real quick, real quick. Oh, you guys were in a or wait, no. Yeah, this is the right draft. This is the right draft. All right, yeah, you said you guys were in a draft. I rug pulled you. That's right. That's my bad. Um, get rug pulled. Last stream of the summer. Of course, I'm gonna rug pull you. Uh, classic streamer shit. No, that's my bad. I thought I got in right on time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was just like later than I thought. I thought I got in right on time. That's my bad. I did say the wrong thing though. Once I was like in it, I never entered the wrong contest. I will say that I earned the marathon, but I will say I said sprint. I don't know. My mind is leaving me. It's been a long best ball summer. Um, zero JSN, zero worthy. Hell yeah. That's damn near what a dirty P had. Damn, yeah, that's really similar. Yeah, 3 pop off versus week 17 only. Uh, Keen to see what second round CMC BBM teams do if he smashes. Hopefully they do well because I got a few. Not many though. I mean he didn't go in the second for that long really. He went at like the 12 for a while, but not in the second much. Uh, except for 12 plus pick falls. Oh, on Worthy and JSN. Yeah, I capitulate a little on Worthy, not really on JSN. I mean, I had 1%, but I bet most of it's probably in the fourth round if I had to guess. I'd probably taken him sometimes in the I don't know third, but yeah, I'd like 1% or whatever. I actually think Worthy is the best in the marathon because if he smashes these 6 weeks, you get full credit. When the other formats might push you to the yeah, that's true. That's a good point, Steve. That is a good point. I guess I was thinking because I was thinking just like the single week upside of Worthy, but see, I guess the thing is I'm a little bit lower on Worthy for like what I think he'll do over the course of the whole season in general. I just think like he could be like not like Marvin Mims because he's not getting like that low. He's not getting like insanely low work or something crazy like that. But I just feel like Worthy. I just feel like over the course of the season, like he'll have some big games, but I just think his target. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be consistent enough to outperform ADP for like the season long. Um, holy shit. All right. Worthy is objectively better in marathon. That does make sense. That the because you're getting more credit for the beginning slate. Um, it does make sense. Yeah, I guess I was just thinking of him because like player archetype wise, like you think of him as like the big spike single game guy, but yeah, he's probably gonna have more spikes that early part. Um, EP, yes, sure. Uh, no, Walker has never stayed healthy. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, right? The guys never stay healthy until the season they do, and then they're the mega smash, right? I mean, that's I don't know, like there's a lot of guys who never stayed healthy. I mean, like CMC for a long time, and then last year he never stayed healthy again. But there were some years where you didn't have CMC, you weren't having a very good year in fantasy, and I remember 2021 he could never stay healthy, and then it's like is better, better, like or he gets better and better, like 313, 357, hurt again. There were injuries before this one too, but it's like, and like I'm not saying Ken Walker has upside like CMC either. I'm just saying like CMC just had years where he did stay healthy, and he was just fucking monster. And like Ken Walker's not gonna be him, but a guy like that who had a bunch of injuries early in his career, he was just the first one that came to my mind for like early injuries and shit, and like, oh, can he even stay healthy type stuff. Um, I don't know. He's kind of the first one that comes to mind. Um, But, and he has had a lot of injured years, but the healthy years, I mean, man, the healthy years they hit. They sure hit. Um, Shards plays on third though. Yeah, like he gets some touches. Like, I mean, because like, so Charbonnet, I mean, yeah, like I don't know, he had decent yardage. Like he had like almost 900 yards. How many games did Walker miss last year? Um, I don't know. Like he's not the worst pick. It's just like let me see. All right. Now I'm gonna look up I need to look something up real quick. I want to see how many games Ken Walker missed. Cause like I just want to know for like Sharp's like workload or whatever. Like because how many did Walker miss? He missed two there, and then he missed oh, and I'm just looking at player profiler right now. So he missed weeks 2 and 3, and then he missed weeks 14 and 15. So he missed 4 games. And then let's see, Sharp. Um Game log. So these 2 weeks, right? So he got like 170 yards, 3 of his touchdowns. Um and then 14, 15, the other 2 weeks Walker was hurt. He got 250 yards, another 3 touchdowns. So with his 175, so 175 plus 250, so 425, 6 touchdowns. So and he had 9 touchdowns total and like 900 yards. So it's like 2/3 of his touchdowns came in the 4 games that Walker missed, and about half of his yards came from those 4 games as well, which I get shows the upside of his pick, but I think it shows like Walker missed 4 games, and that created the vast majority of Charbonnet's production. And I think Algier produces like just as much as Charbonnet if Bijan and Walker play the same amount of games. Um, yeah, because like Charbonnet, like I don't think Charbonnet really does much at all if he's I mean, or here we can look. Like, so this is PPR. This is full PPR. That's just how player profiler is. But so this is still Charbonnet, right? So the 2 weeks Walker was hurt, RB8, RB7, RB 27, 29, 42, 41, 58, 28, 42, 47, 49, 24. That was the week that Walker got hurt because he missed the next week. RB1, RB17, 55. And then it looks like he got full workload for these two because he was a backup over 70%. RB19, RB29. But it's just like those weeks when Walker's healthy. So this week Walker got hurt. The only week was like the first week Walker was back, and like this random one, well, he got a touchdown. He was like a high end RB3, RB28, and he got you an 11 in full PPR, with 3 receptions too. So he got you a 10 in half PPR. I just don't really think he's giving you many usable weeks whatsoever, other than when Ken Walker gets hurt. That's kind of my argument for Charbonnet, and he's the most expensive guy that's the case. Because Algier's the same way, but Algier's like 50 picks cheaper. Um, but yeah, like that's just my argument against Charbonnet. Like that's why I've never been in on him, and I just can't get in on him. I think he's like clear cut. Walker gets hurt. Charbonnet's like a 3rd round pick or something, right? But Algier's like the same thing, and he's cheaper, or like whoever. Like that's why I can never have a bag of Charbonnet. He's just the most expensive version of that bet, and I don't really think you're gaining much for paying that super premium. It's not like Dave Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs or something where you're paying up for Montgomery because he's going to give you good scoring and have contingent upside. It's like you're just paying for pretty much contingent upside and like maybe a floor game here and there with a touchdown and get like an 11. Ty Johnson exists. Yeah, I agree. Um, I agree. Yeah, James Cook snap share scares me. I'm lower on James Cook. So I'm with you on that actually. Eckler has been a useful 0 RBO pick all summer. Great price, good offense. Totally agree with that. Yeah, he's been a good pick all summer. Even with B Rob there and all that stuff, he was a good pick. Cause he was so late, just that guaranteed touches week 1. Walker has played 15, 15, 11 games. Played 15, 15, 11. Oh, it was last year 11. Um, I mean, okay, yeah. No, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I agree. I believe you 100% that he's never played a full season. I'm just saying like, like how do you know it's not the year he's gonna play a full season now? Like, I don't know. There's been guys that have been like injury prone, and then they have a year they stay healthy, and then they fucking smash people, right? I mean, Todd Gurley had a ton of injuries throughout his career, but those like healthy years, I mean, they were fucking electric, weren't they? Like, and like, I don't know. I'm just like in the same thing. I know I'm saying like great players just because they're the only ones that come to mind right away, like these great players. But like, I'm not saying Walker's like Todd Gurley, CMC, like their level, but just if he just has a year where he's healthy, I mean, because it's not like he tore his ACL or something. Like he has more nagging like joint injuries and stuff. It's not like a torn ACL recovery or something. Um, this room hates Nick Chubb. Yeah, makes sense. Um, I didn't consider Goff. Oh, I guess I could have pushed him then, maybe. Um, the answer is always Turpin. It's always Turpin time if Who Hames is around. Yeah, I think Chubb is fine in marathon. But would rather lock up Ford. Oh, right, because I guess he's just kind of be like the other guy in the like whoever the 2-person committee is. All of them include Jerome Ford, right? Um, heard Quinshon's donating his foot to Joe Mixon. Hashtag I'm loving it. Eventually, one of these Quinshon rumors will be true. Calling the work, it will be fine. I should, dude. I should. Bro, I really should. I wake up in like 5 hours. That's not actually that bad, to be honest, though. It's gonna be bad when I stay up and do like 2 more drafts after I get off. Um. Oh, I know. I was doing some the other night, and who was? Oh, Davis Maddock, because I saw him and like I was doing 2 drafts at once. I was multi-tabling the drafters main, and I saw him in both of my lobbies. I was like, oh, he's doing them right now. That's like surprising because it was over the weekend, so it was like early in the morning, and I was like, oh, maybe because I was like just up all night drafting, and then it was early in the morning maybe for him, but he was just autoing. I think probably all 150, I'd guess. All right, everyone, I gotta go to bed. Peace. You too, Who Aims? Peace, Who Aims? That was a half an hour ago. Holy shit. Um, all right, 80%. Pat Bryant gonna get implemented early. Hell yeah, Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant season. Uh, Roshan is in witness protection. Agree. Roshan Johnson. I have a bag. Feels terrible. Maybe it should feel great. I really don't know at this point. The Roshan bag it's like the Schrodinger's bag of a player. I have no idea if it's good or bad. It feels bad, but it could be great. And we just don't know. And only Ben Johnson really knows, I guess. Swear Roshan's in witness protection. Yeah. Ben Johnson's hiding the secret weapon, let's hope. Um, or at least for me. I don't know if I mean, well, one of you, but like, I don't know if you guys all have Roshan bags. I got some Roshan bags. Both can win leagues or be Del Taco and plays by week 4. No one talks about him. About yeah, he had a couple teams. That was Pat. Crane. Oh right, okay. Crane was Eckler Saquon. Oh, Eckler Saquon. Okay. Okay, yeah, yeah. So that's double anchor. Boom, boom. You're wrecked. I don't even remember who said. Oh, I think that was BP I was talking to. But oh, Liam started JT Aaron Jones. Okay, yeah, they both did double anchor. That's what I thought. Because there's like the joke about it where it's like it's like, oh, they're like the piss boys, your RB, guys, the slappies, right? And it's like they all win with like the double anchor fucking robust RB builds. And they'll tell you be like receiver, like that's the joke that they're the cabal. They're trying to get us all to lose, right? Um, oh, Liam started JT Aaron Jones, Cooper Chase, Josh Allen, Claypool. Damn, Claypool, like the Claypool out of nowhere. You just see like a perfect list, and it's Claypool. Fuck. Um, but I mean, it won, so I guess it worked. I know the RB room is way too weak for cumulative. Um, Charbonnet shouldn't be third at the very least. What? Whose team is this? Who? Did I have Charbonnet? No. I don't know who the hell is Charbonnet. Um, Team is weak. Charbonnet for third. Oh, that other team I was looking at? No. That was a puppy we were doing before this one. That the 4 quarterback team. If you're talking about the 4 quarterback team, that was a puppy we did right before this. The one dude wanted me to look at his team, and I did, but I was like chatting for like 20 minutes, so I don't think he saw me look at it. So I was looking at that real quick again. I'd like it in BBM. Okay, I think that is the one you're talking about then. But that was a puppy though. We were in a pre-fill marathon. My bad. You kept saying sprint. You guys saw the poll. The poll. I listened to the poll. You guys should listen to the poll. Okay, I'm reading the poll, doing what the poll says. What my mouth says after a weekend of like 150 drafts cannot be trusted. I don't even know what half these contests are anymore. Okay. No, that's my bad. I did handle that pretty bad. For the last one, just some fumbles to end it out. But yeah, my bad. Hopefully, you guys decided to get in some, and then you can get your promo bucks. Hopefully that pushed you to now I got to draft 4 more of these fucking things to get my promo bucks because Hartman rug pulled me. Hopefully I at least inspired you to do that. You kept saying sprint, but I think I honestly, honest to God, I think it's because when I went over to it, I thought there was no chance in hell the marathon would win. Like I was cool, like the marathon was a fine one to win. I thought for sure it was gonna be Puppy, and then if by some chance one of the other two won, I thought it was gonna be the sprint, like for sure. Because like people didn't seem like too fond of the marathon at the time, and then people usually just pick Puppy anyway. So I was like, it's gonna be a Puppy, and then it was marathon, and then I think marathon was the one I thought for sure it wouldn't be, and then it was. So yeah, that's my bad. That is my bad. I was just trying to rug pull you, just keep everyone on their toes. Right near the end, you never know what's going on with this best ball summer. Hugga, we just pre-floated marathon. There you go. Hey, you're just one more marathon closer to getting your free tickets being done, right? I pulled up my first marathon team. Had John Pitts firing with the tight end 3 bye-week 5s. Um, I actually let's see it real quick. Let's see my first marathon team. I'm scared because this was early. Is this with the fan speak? Because I know I did one with you guys pretty early. This was the emo cowboy. It must be random. I must have randomly joined. So what did I get? That's kind of sick. Caleb Williams, Kyler Murray, Ashton Gentile, Marion Hampton, J.K. Dobbins, Braylon Allen, Will Shipley, Marshawn Lloyd. Marshawn Lloyd fucking dead. Son of a bitch. Marvin Harrison, George Pickens, kind of late. Rome and no, that's where Rome goes. Steph Diggs, pretty late. Trey Harris, pretty early. Luther Burden, kind of where he goes. Cedric Tillman, kind of late. Jalen Coker, I guess where he goes now that he's dead. Brock Bowers, go. Pat Fryermuth earlier than he goes now that he has Johnny as a teammate. Honestly, not bad. I mean, Trey Harris kind of a dog shit pick, but like obviously Fryermuth, I mean, who could have seen that one coming? Lloyd, need to stop letting him take my money from me. Honestly, yeah, though I kind of fuck with it. I actually like this team. Kind of wish I had a third QB. Don't really know why I didn't. I probably wasn't 3 QB pilled yet. Oh, and they went hella early. They went like 170. Fuck. I probably wasn't prepared for that. This is my first marathon. So yeah, I probably wasn't prepared for that kind of action. Um, yeah, actually kind of fuck with it. Decent team. All right. Uh, John who Pitts farm with the tight end 3 week. At least tight end though. Like tight end, you got overlapping buys. It's just tight end. It's not like it really matters too much. Like the weekly score of a tight end is so low. Like you're losing 8 to 10 points, which could matter, but odds are probably won't matter, right? Um, Bye week. How would it do poorly in 1-9? We don't know. If Worthy didn't kill it in the Super Bowl, he'd be going after Cup. Mm, I think he'd be going a little later. I think he'd still be in like the fifth, sixth round. You like, usually after Cup, like I think that's a little bit more of a little bit of a joke, right? Because I think Worthy like he'd probably go in the sixth. I'd imagine. Maybe fifth. CMC is infinite. No, I no. Okay, yeah. See, but that's just stupid. Like Charbonnet may be better than Walker. Well, why don't they play Charbonnet when fucking Walker's healthy? Like, come on. I mean, let's see. Snap share 31%. Oh man, 95-87. What happened? Why did they? I mean, this one, hey, got back up to 55. Oh no, oh no, it dropped. It dropped. Hey, Walker got hurt. We back up. We back up. Oh no. Like, you know what I mean? If Walker's playing like I like this one. This one looks pretty good, 55%. It's too bad he like wait, total yards, 9 yards on fucking 8 touches. Oh fuck, Atlanta stuffed his ass. That's crazy. He played 55% of snaps and he only got 8 touches, 9 yards. But no, I wasn't even going to that. But like come on, Charbonnet maybe or Walker. Like bro, come on. Stop. Stop. You're trolling. This is trolling. Number 18, like, and here they be some of my favorite humans on this planet. Don't know about the other planets. Thanks for stopping by, Fancy Dog. And thanks for stopping by, hitting the like. And if any of you guys are enjoying the content, hit the like, hit subscribe. I'll try to finish catching up with you guys, and then we'll do a little sign off and head off. 3, no, 6. Oh yeah, but anyway, the CMC thing though, I wasn't even comparing them because see, like talent. I'm just saying like CMC was so injury prone he can never stay healthy. Then he did. I'm saying like those guys can have a healthy year. Not that Walker's going to be the first round game breaker, 400-point running back, but that he can have a year where he stays healthy, even though he's missed a couple games every year. It's not like he's torn his ACL and then had this surgery and that's it. Like he's missed a couple games every year, right? He's had a little bit more major injuries, but and like one of them when you said like you only played 11, but he could have a healthy year. I don't really think the injuries are super sticky like that. Like that style of injury. I think some injuries are, some aren't. Like soft tissue, I think is more sticky than like, getting your ankle rolled up on or something. 6. Sharp was crap if he wasn't against zone mid defenses. Yeah, good for fantasy, but they used Lonnie Boone 20s this time around, probably at the goal line. Yeah, that Lonnie got like hella good in the preseason, way less upside. Trevor's missed 1 game in 2 seasons. I mean, yeah, he's a fucking backup. He doesn't play. Like, you can miss 1 game when you're getting like the workload. In 2 seasons, he doesn't get the workload that like a starter gets in 1 season, or he gets maybe the workload a starter gets in 1 season. It's like because I think that's the thing. Like I don't like Charbonnet's good when Walker's down, just like he's like Alexander Madison. This is our generation's Alexander. It literally is Alexander Madison, where it's like, and then if Charbonnet ever goes to a new team, then everyone's gonna be so hyped, and it's gonna be, oh my god, he's finally getting his chance. Then maybe he's actually good. Maybe he won't pull a Madison, but he's legit just like Alexander Madison. And I don't know, Madison. Like in his day, it's like he'd have a couple good games, and then kind of, I don't know for best ball though. Maybe they hit at the right time. Oh, wow, just seeing the 49ers didn't give Jennings squat for a contract. You would think he's worth more than that. I think they give him like a $3 million bonus or something, right? Like incentive bonus or something like that. I think they gave him incentives for a bonus. Walker missed 10 in his first three. Uh, PPT, something per target. Um, Walker ain't that good. I mean the NFL coaches think he's a whole lot better than Zach Charbonnet. Like it's cool he has less PPT points per target, whatever the fuck. Um, but like when Ken Walker is healthy, Zach Charbonnet does not play very meaningful snaps, and he does not put up a score that hits your lineup unless he scores a touchdown if Ken Walker is playing. That is my point. It's not about who's better, who's worse. It's like how they use him. It's the same coach as last year. They have a new OC. It's the same main head coach. They're still hyping up Walker. Like I I just don't really see any reason why it would change what it has been where when Walker is healthy, Charbonnet does not get meaningful touches for fantasy football unless he gets in the end zone. Um, that's how I view Charbonnet. If Ken Walker is healthy, he is basically worthless unless he gets a touchdown. And I think that is fairly accurate. There might be a couple games that's not the case, but I think that's fairly accurate for Charbonnet. I don't think he really ever gives you maybe like a 9 or a 10, like a barely usable week on some receptions, 70 yards when Ken Walker's healthy, but I really don't think he's doing anything if Ken Walker is healthy. And you can get a lot of guys who are going to do good if the starter's not healthy. So, and they're a lot cheaper than Zach Charbonnet. Um, Charbonnet is just better. Maybe than Damian Martinez. Probably not, though. Um, I got huge star bags. A lot of numbers showed that he was better than K9 last year. Tons of standalone value, and K9 is also hurt. What do you guys mean tons of standalone value? What standalone value? Like what? Like I mean like here we can look at the stats again. So these two games, week 2 and 3, Ken Walker out, right? Snap share 95%, 87%. He's a top 10 running back. Other than that, here's the game where Walker got injured. 45%, slightly more snap share. He's an RB2, very low end RB2, the lowest end, number 24. Walker is out. He's the RB1 overall. Walker is out. He's a mid range RB2. Walker plays. He's RB55. 74%, 74%. RB19, RB29, and that's a 10 and a 9 in full PPR. And he's only RB19, RB29 because these are like end of season weeks, right? So these like don't even really. Well, that's week 17, and he got 75% of the snaps, and he ended with 10 points. So I like standalone. No, he did not have a single RB2 week. Week 13, the week when Walker got hurt, he was in a fringe RB2. That is his best week when Walker started last year. Like he's worthless if Walker's playing. He's an RB. He's not even a top 24 RB on the week. It's like he can give you a floor if your RB room's like dead, I guess, but how much this is full PPR too. I mean, a 10, sure, but then a 10 with 5 receptions, so that's only a 7.5. A 6 with 3 receptions, so that's only a 4.5. 4, like a 1. Like you're not getting much floor here either, unless he gets the occasional touchdowns, right? It's like 2, 2, 5, touchdown 11, and then down here touchdown 12. Then he gets the starts, right? Or like that 11 with the touchdown 1.9, 4.5, 6, 10. But that's with 5 receptions, so it's less, right? He has no standalone value if Walker's playing. There's nothing there. If he gets a touchdown, he's like a fringe RB2 maybe. If Walker's playing, he has like no value though. At like not where he goes, at least. Like he does if you're getting him where like Rashad White goes. Because Rashad White does this shit. Like he does more than that on a weekly basis. If Bucky's healthy, give me Rashad White. Like straight up. Like because I just don't get it. Like Charbonnet is really good if Walker's hurt, he can be top 10, top 12, whatever. But only if Walker's hurt. I do not see the standalone value. I do not see that at all. Um, okay, now we're getting somewhere. He might be. He might be. Now we're getting somewhere. Trust me, I had to watch the Seahawks games at work against my will last year. Trevor's yawning to see if you aren't. I don't know. Box for watching, right? Yeah, and just to me, I mean, they've been team. It's not like Charbonnet is like some new dude, and it's all new coaches and shit. It's the same head coaches last year, and they've played together for years. And Charbonnet's never really taken the role from Walker ever, other than Walker being hurt. Especially in best ball, Sharp is a great pick. I think he's a fine pick. I don't like. I mean, I don't actually think he's a fine pick. I think he's overpriced. I shouldn't have said fine. I think he's overpriced. But like, if you pick him, I don't think he's like a horrible guy to take. I just think he's overpriced for the role. I think you get similar production and roles way later in the draft. And then Charbonnet also goes in a great tight end range or at QB range. So to spend on a running back there over those other positions when you can get similar production to Charbonnet later, I just don't see the case for Charbonnet where he goes. Yeah, I just really like, unless just I want some because if Ken Walker tears his shit, then I have the guy. I get that case, but that's about the only case I get for Charbonnet. I'm not allowed them to cover. You're lucky Who Ames went to bed already. Uh, Walker has better yards per carry than Walker the last few years. That's crazy. Sharps, yeah, yeah. And then he did it 2 years ago, and then what they do last year? Didn't give like that's what I'm saying. Like it's cool that he has better metrics. It could also be because I mean I think someone mentioned this too. It might have been Sladen. I don't know if it was Sladen. It was someone mentioned it. I think it was Sladen maybe. Someone mentioned it. You know, what kind of boxes are they facing? Actually, we could look at that probably. Can we look at that? Is that on here for him? Um, yeah, here we go. So, well, look, average defenders in the box for Zach Charbonnet, 6.2, stacked front carry rate. Well, I guess we can just look at average defenders in the box, 6.2. Let's look at Walker. I have no idea what it is. This might not be good for me. Is he the first one? Is he the one without the picture? Oh, okay, yeah. So Sharp was 6.2. Is also 6.2. Um Base front 55, 3.3. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they're similar. They both were really high on the light front. They're both pretty low on the stacked front. I guess it's pretty similar, like with all that. I don't know. This feels like more of a ball knower type moment. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say here's my ultimate answer to walk over Sharps. Watch the tape, pal. No, I don't know. It's just that thing of like I'm not even trying to like shit on it. Like I like sorry if it seems like I'm like trying to shit on it or whatever. It's just like they just don't. I think Charbonnet is. I don't think he's a bad player by any means. I just think that the coaches don't use him over Walker, and it's still the same head coach. I really don't think it's going to change. Um, I just really can't see it, and he's so expensive for that guy who if Charbonnet doesn't take a bigger load, I think we can both agree then that he is not very useful if Walker's healthy, right? He needs to take a bigger load for him to be useful. And I just don't see why that would change now when it hasn't changed the last couple of years. When they've played together, it's the same coach as last year. It's a different OC though. It is a different OC. I meant Char's better than Walker. Yeah, no, I got you. Uh, where did David take JCM? I saw him ripping JCM at the 6-7. JCM. No, you didn't get JCM. Um, you said at the 6-7 turn. Fuck did you go? Oh, right there. 92. He went one pick before me actually. So 92 to AKO 15. I mean, it's a little high, I guess. Like usually I feel like he falls more in like the ninth round, but that's fine, I guess. Um, I don't. Yeah, I mean that's fine, I guess. Uh, oh, and a puppy four. I didn't run into. I didn't. I don't know. Tyrone Tracy or Caleb Johnson to roster? Caleb Johnson, definitely. I think, right? Wait. Yeah, it's got to be Caleb Johnson. It's got to be Caleb Johnson for the upside. Unless you like, yeah, no, it's got to be Caleb Johnson, especially in a 10 man. Because in a 10 man, I think Tracy might be a little bit safer, but you really need to shoot for like kind of that monster upside in a 10 man. So go with Caleb, I'd say. Um, Faster paced offense, more receiving work till Scadaboo shows up. You ever heard of Cam Scadabo? Um, um, it's tough. Well, but Caleb has a lot better opportunity to see. Like, okay, like Tracy, maybe for this, yeah. I think Scadaboo is going to take a lot of work from Tracy personally. So I lean Caleb. I think that's a good argument for Tracy though. Because Caleb probably won't get much receiving work. Maybe if you're in you said PPR, I probably still lean Caleb by a little for the upside, but I actually think that's a fair point for Tracy too. Um, I'm kind of more like thinking just ultimate upside, especially if you're like talking about like because these are waiver wire guys, right? So you want to go for the most upside possible. Like you're probably not even starting these guys right away, I'm assuming. So I would want to go for just the ultimate like ceiling if it's a just a home league, right? So I would lean Caleb for that, but I think either's fine. They're close, especially in PPR. Cup had more receiving yards in 12 games than Worthy in 17. Believe that. Worthy was shit. Worthy's just fancy Justin Watson. Worthy's like Justin Watson if he was fast and small. Um, can I see your elimination teams? Um, I mean, yes. Like I'm fine with showing them, but I mean, I got like I'll click through a couple. I have 45. I didn't max this or anything. Um, just kind of got busy with some other contests. Kind of wanted like 100, but it ended up filling kind of like out of nowhere. I wasn't really expecting it. Um, Here's the very last one I did. So I had a 3-5-8-2, Jordan Love, JJ McCarthy, Tua, good QB room, Bijan Jacobs, Omarion Hampton, Kenneth Walker, Joe Mixon, son of a bitch. Cortland Sutton, Romo Dunze, Jerry Judy, Jaden Reed, god damn it, Josh Palmer, Cedric Tillman, Adam Thielen, Dante Thornton, Mason Taylor, Dalton Schultz. So like this one, you can see I kind of punted receiver a little bit. Mixon right there, that sucks because he's probably not even gonna play this year. I don't know. My top four RBs are really strong though, so I like them. I like the QBs on this team. They're not like crazy strong, but they're okay. Tight ends, kind of punted it. Receivers, okay. If Jaden Reed wasn't hurt, I'd actually feel decent about them. But this is kind of a bigger gap, 95 to 146, considering I started later at receiver. Uh, I don't know. I'll click like one. I'll click one more up here, and then I'll click one or two at the very bottom, so you can see the ones I started with too. Purdy, Goff, decent QB room, CMC, Brees Hall, Jalen Warren, Javante, Isaac Rando, Jaden Blue, Jalen Wright. Um, I don't know. Lad McConkey, DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Ricky. I autoed this shit. Okay, we're not looking at that one. You didn't see that. Um, I definitely fell asleep while I was drafting that team or something because I was all right. It looked like it started good, and then it went all wrong. Justin Fields, Kyler Murray, that's good at QB. Saquon, Kenneth Walker, Tony Pollard, Eckler, Blue, Jarquez, Keaton Mitchell. Actually, I mean that's a crazy RB room to me. Um, Rice, Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, Devo, Romeo Dobbs, Keenan Allen. Yeah, these Rice teams are gonna be a bitch. Um, I got a whole lot of Rice, a whole lot of Judkins. I did a lot of my eliminators pretty early. Turns out that wasn't the best call. The people who said that wasn't the best call, they were right. Um, Especially if you're big into Rice and Judkins. Turns out they were right. So Kyler Bonix, this is my first eliminator of the year, so I probably did this like around the first week or something. Um, Jameer Gibbs, Bayshal Tootin, Javonte Williams, J.K. Dobbins at like 165, Nick Chubb, Taj Brooks. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. Got some decent values. Don't really love Javonte, but like whatever. Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, Cortland Sutton, Chris Olave, Kyle Williams, Jack Besh, DeAndre Hopkins, Jalen Tolbert, Trey McBride, Sam Florida. Don't know why I bullied tight end there, but it. I mean, it's all right. It's not terrible, I guess. Look at one more, and then we'll get back to you guys, and then call it. Goff, Lawrence, Young, pretty good. Genty, Hall, Kamara, J.K. Dobbins, Jalen Wright. J.K. Dobbins is like late, so that was good. Brian Thomas, Rashi Rice, Jameson Williams, Debo Samuel, Josh Downs, Hollywood Brown, Jalen Coker, T.J. Hawkins, Tucker Kraft, Mike Gesicki. So I don't know. You can kind of see like I'm always doing like a hero or like kind of a double anchor or even more RBs, just going super RB heavy pretty much. Always three QBs kind of later. Like the early ones, you saw a couple two QBs. I would say I'm going like three if I don't get an elite. If I get an elite, sometimes I go two. Um, Good RB capital. Just try to stack out receiver with some volume. Get the variance to work in your favor since it is week to week. You do want some top end talent, but you can focus a little more on RB and just kind of build out of that mid range and just build more depth for variance and like Eliminator 2. Um, Tight end, kind of hard to say. I just kind of built like depth. This is a stronger tight end room. I would say this is the one I didn't have the most like concrete plan. Like I have guys I like, guys I target, but I don't necessarily plan like the quality of tight end room as much as I plan maybe like other positions when I'm doing a draft. Tight end just kind of like whatever falls me wherever there's good values. Like I got Hawkinson just a little after ADP, but I like him at ADP. Same thing with Kraft, just a little after ADP, but I'd pick him at or ahead of ADP a lot. All right. Madison, like Dalvin Cook, was famously great against terrible NFC North run defenses and violently average against the actual NFL. That's a good point. You know what I got to look at now, Dirty P? Who did Charbonnet cook? New England, Miami, Arizona, and Green Bay. And not Green Bay, not Green Bay. He just scored a touchdown. That was kind of a shit game. Arizona, he fucking cooked them. Charbonnet had like 200 yards and 2 touchdowns on Arizona. Um, the other ones were, yeah, the other ones were okay against New England, Miami. He was top 10 RB those weeks. CMC has played more games than K-Walk 3 the last 3 years. All right. I it's cool. Like I don't know. Oh, fuck yeah, cool. I mean, like I get it, but it's not like he tore his shit. It's not like he's coming back from torn ACL. It's not like it's I don't know. It's not like sticky. It doesn't fucking matter. Like I don't. I guess the thing is like I don't give a shit if K Walk missed 5 games 3 years ago. Don't care. Like if this is the healthy year, that's all that matters. You know what I mean? I, cool. I picked CMC too, so that's great news. Um, I don't know. Like Walker missing games because he got his ankle rolled 3 years ago, or he tore his abdomen muscle and he hasn't had that issue since. It's like, all right, you know, it happens. I mean, he is a little more injury prone. He's had injuries. It's just, it's not stuff that would affect him now, I guess is the biggest thing with like some of the stuff you're saying. It's like, it doesn't matter. Cool. Cool. He got injured 3 years ago. Something that doesn't matter, you know? Man, if you thought Shanny put Ayuk in the doghouse that 1 year, wait till he rewarded Jennings for holding out when the rest of the wide receiver room was hurt. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe. He was at practice, but maybe, yeah. It's a new head coach. Can't go by last year. Fantasy is about projection. He will have some standalone value. I don't think it's a new head coach. Right? Am I a goddamn fool? It's still the McDonald guy, right? The from Baltimore, Mike. Yeah, Mike McDonald. This guy. They got a new OC. They fired their OC, and I think he said he fired his OC because he wasn't run heavy enough. I can't remember. I don't know. He didn't say that, but that was like the rumor or some shit. But no, it's the same head coach. It's just a different OC. Like here you can see right here. Uh, see Seahawks head coach 2024 to present. Ravens D coordinator till 2023. So share this tab. All right. But yeah, so it's the same head coach, new OC. So could be a little different, but KW3 has won 1,000 rushing yard season. You know what's crazy is like people will tell you too. Like speaking of that, just speaking on that, people will tell you this Alvin fucking Kamara guy. They'll tell you he's not the most dog shit running back you've ever seen in your life. And let me tell you, dude's been in the NFL like 8 fucking years. Ain't never had 1,000 yards. People say this guy's great. They call him a Pro Bowler, and this dude ain't never had 1,000. What a bitch. Um, yeah. So Ken Walker, he's dog shit, just like Alvin Kamara. They're not the same player, but rushing for 1K. Oh, Najee Harris has never had less than 1K. KW3 has had one. Well, that's one more than Alvin Kamara. KW3 is a bad pick. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, these are just dumb stats. I think you're trolling, I guess. I don't know. I'm the one who famously had 40% DMart in the big board. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn. DMart. Fuck. That's brutal. Who do you guys think was my biggest big board exposure? Do you guys think I cooked? Did I cook or was I looking like a fool in the big board? That's not relevant. I don't know what's not relevant. That Najee has a K every year and that makes you a good running back. That's not relevant. Sharps is a better pass catcher than Walker. Cool. But I dislike KW3 less, especially I dislike KW3 more at ADP. Okay. I was buying Sharps in the 120s. 110s is a bit too spicy. Inside top 100, absurd. Yeah, no, like 120s, reasonable because it's more secure than like the guys who might not take as much of a role as he does because he's more secure than like, just some backfields, they might be more split, hot hand, whatever. You don't feel as comfortable with the backup. You don't think he can, equate to as much of the starter. Where Charbonnet, he's pretty much like almost a 1-for-1 to Ken Walker, right? But yeah, like in the hundreds, it's like, well, or I could just pick a guy who like Cam Scatterbo might be the starter on the Giants, or I can pick Ken Walker's backup. Like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The Giants starter might go around later. He goes like 114. Or I could pick Ken Walker's backup at 100. Which one? Which one? You know what I mean? Like, that's just where I just don't get it. Like, there's starters back there. There's guys who like could be starters. I mean, even like Tracy, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, they go right around Charbonnet, and like their actual like, probably split time. I meant where did Davis Maddock take JCM? I saw Davis. I meant where did Davis Maddock take JCM? I saw Davis take JCM at the 6-7 in a puppy. This message at 12:12 your time, 3:12. Come on. It was in a puppy? Okay, I'll look. Davis was in a puppy with me. He took JCM hella early. All right, I'll check. So it's when I went to go look for the puppy for the for Jam. I keep want to say Jam Joe. I don't. That's not fucking right. Is that right? I might be right. I don't know. All right. Wait. Puppy 4. So Davis took JCM. So Davis was in here. Davis wasn't in this one. Which one was Davis in? How the fuck would Davis be in a puppy? I guess he does auto these. I'm so confused. Worthy is Rashid Shaheed. I like Shaheed, but not in the fifth. If Worthy were at the 6-7, I would be overweight. Prob bump to fade a guy. You'd be overweight 20 picks cheaper. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, if Worthy was cheaper, I'd be overweight. Like, I'm I'm like not crazy underweight, but like I said, capitulation. I wish I had the stones to have him at 0, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's just so hard to see. A lot of his metrics don't look that good. It's just like, oh, but did you see him cook the Eagles when they were up by fucking 40 in the second half? Like, cool, dude. Think they gave a fuck? And Harry won the Super Bowl. Um, Dang, you got some teams. Holy, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, hey, I, I look at him. I only see the bad, honestly. At this point, I see the one guy who got hurt, and I'm like, damn, fuck that one up. So I appreciate that. Thanks for the kind words. My Eliminator looks rough too. If I advance 35% to week 2, it's a miracle. Yeah, for me, it's gonna be the Rice. That Rice is gonna kill me. And Quinshon. Honestly, not even Rice, Quinshon. Because Rice, at least he was kind of going late, so maybe. And I built like crazy receiver heavy teams with Rice. Like Quinshon, I just built it like he was gonna be the Brown starter week 1, and fucking didn't work. Uh I just like eliminators because it feels like fantasy playoffs. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I don't mind sharing like more of them. I just there's just no good way to share like a lot of them. So I mean, hopefully seeing a couple of them though. I mean, that kind of gave you the idea of like what I do, how I build them. Just if that was like interesting to you, but just kind of that RB heavier approach. Want to make sure I'm solid at QB. You can't get like locked out. And then you just want that receiving firepower after that. But I would just say in those, you just prioritize RB more, kind of like a home league in a way. But you still do need the receiver firepower. So it is still best ball, but it's almost like a home league type best ball with the eliminator. He missed games every year, and CMC didn't tear his ACL. Okay, I mean, like whatever the fuck. I don't like. Dude, I don't know. I'm just saying, like Ken Walker could play 17. I know he's been hurt every game. That's happened to other guys. Brother. We can always pick RBs good enough to start on their own teams. Option. There we go, Sladen. Sladen with the ultimate answer right there. Um, Give me Ken Walker and a side of Cam Scadaboo 1 round later than Charbo for me. That's my order. Cool. Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the fuck you want. You missed 3 games 5 years ago. Like, oh, the fuck. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, he didn't tear like I just whatever injury. He was out for the year with an injury, whatever. Um, yeah, you're right, new OC. Oh yeah. But yeah, and that could change stuff a little. Kamara's never led less than 450 receiving. He has 300, not the same. Davis hasn't done anything in best. That's so funny. Kamara's never had less than 450 receiving yards though. Ken Walker has had 299 max. It's not the same. Davis hasn't done anything best. It's just a great string of messages. It's just like Kamara, Ken Walker, they're not the same. Davis Maddock has not done shit in the game. Just out of nowhere. Just a shot. Just a shot for no fucking reason. I know someone brought it. I know Dirty was bringing up Davis Maddock earlier, but just a random fucking shot. I think Alec Pierce is better than Worthy. I can see that, yeah. See, this take I can get with get with you. Wait. Okay, I'm having an interstellar moment bang on a bookcase. I saw Davis Maddock take JCM in one of my pup fours. You said you caught Davis in a DK lobby. No, that must have been like Who Hames. Dirty P, I have done 2 DK Millie Makers. I'm pretty sure they were in like June. Because I actually just recently looked at DK because I was like, do I got money in there? And I do. I'm just gonna save it for DFS. I'm not even fucking doing any. I'm doing 2 milli makers this year, and they were old. It was probably Who Hames. Who Hames been doing a shitload of milli makers lately. He said he did like 30 this weekend. Um, yeah, I got it. Thanks, man. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, and I mean, yeah. Anyway, like if you ever want to see any of the contests and shit, oh, and so I'm kind of near the end now. Um, no, that was you. You brought up Matic or someone. Oh, Dirty P had the comment about it. That must have been Who There's no way it was me if it was in a DK lobby. No way I was in a DK lobby. No shot. Like it must have. I bet it was Who Um, oh yeah, but yeah. I was just gonna say, so this is probably gonna end it. But thanks all you guys so much for coming out, and just thanks all summer. Like, I mean, I know we were kind of arguing about like Charbonnet Walker shit. It's fun to just talk about, like, kind of argue about whatever. But like, thanks all you guys for coming out, liking, like, subscribing, like just supporting the channel, even just talking, like drafting with me. Just I don't know, just it makes this a lot of fun. Like I kind of started doing this earlier this summer just because I thought it would be fun and just having all you guys to chat with, just kind of talk football with. It's been like a ton of fun to do, and I'm gonna still do like 1 or 2 streams a week, just do some BRs, maybe some like start sit stuff on the weekends, like do one stream maybe early week, kind of looking at the slate, and then one stream Friday or Saturday. That's kind of the plan. Every week, like one stream Friday or Saturday, and then maybe one early in the week. And then kind of do that through the year. Just do a little bit of probably the BRs on Underdog. Just kind of talk about news going on, games, you got any start sits, whatever. But yeah, that's kind of the plan. But thank you guys all so much for coming out. Yeah, yeah, all love to you guys too. Been a fun summer for sure. All love, bro. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. And I like your content too. Uh, the game we fired Trace at Davis Matic. Exactly. Exactly. Hey, one with that note, we'll be out. But thank you guys all so much for coming out, supporting and everything. It was a lot of fun. And hey, we're gonna keep going through the season. So I'll be back, next off season. But peace everyone. Have a good night.